fresh from a summer break. We've got JB back with us today as we bring you Liverpool against Brentford in the Premier League. I'm Russ Finnan and I'm your host for today's game. Alongside JB John Stuttard, we've also got Paul James, who did excellent commentary last night as Aston Villa lost to Arsenal in the Premier League. We'll wind up earlier to scores in just a couple of moments. But first, let me get the team news for this game, which is taking place at Anfield, in the company of your match commentator, JB John Stuttard.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you, everybody. Hello, I am back. Yes, I will be back this season on the TCO, albeit sporadically, doing a few commentaries here and there. My 8th season as a YouTube commentator and my 4th season with this brilliant TCO. It's nice to be back after a long summer break. Well, it's going to be a tough ask from Brentford. Only 2 wins here at Anfield in 86 years, but they're going to have to do it without Ivan Toney, of course. That's the big news. There's still interest from a lot of parties. We've heard Arsenal have reportedly been interested in him and things like that. But Thomas Frank, like last week, keeps him out. Just the one change of pace from both games. Both have 100% records. So this is the Liverpool lineup. We will go through it in more detail later. Alisson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk the captain, Andy Robertson, Gravenberch, McAllister, Salah, Zalewski, Diaz and Jota. For Brentford, it's Flecken in goal. Then it's Roslev, Collins, Perlick and Ajer. Then it's Norgard, Janelt and Jensen. Guarani Lembo, Keane Lewis Potter, the central striker, and Johan Risa, who will play as part of a three-pronged attack this afternoon. Back to you for the moment, Russ.
Thank you very much, JB, and good to have JB back on air, as I said, in media, radio, jingles, and gaming straight in there, as he says. Hello, Russ and Paul, and the warmest welcome back to JB. A pleasure to have you back on the Commentary Hub 2, focus on football, Storm FM, and JB Sports Airwaves, and everyone here at the Commentary Hub echoes that as we welcome out JB John Stuttard back to the commentary team for yet another season. But before I get the thoughts of Paul James ahead of kickoff in this one, let me just bring you up to date with the earliest scores in today's Premier League action and go you through it a bit more detail and other scores at half time. But full-time scores in the 2 o'clock kickoffs: Bournemouth 1, Newcastle 1, and Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Chelsea 6 in the Premier League this afternoon already. And now we've got this one, Liverpool against Brentford. Well then, Paul, we'll come to you now and we'll look at Liverpool first of all. One change for them is Konate comes back into the side, having been on the bench in Arne's first game in charge against Ipswich last week. Yao Kwanzaa is the man who drops out to the bench for Liverpool today. Based on how Kwanzaa played last week, and I saw that, I think he played okay, but not as good enough as what Konate and Van Dijk can do. Were you surprised by that change, Paul, or would you expect that change always to be happening?
I'm not entirely surprised by it. I mean, Joel Kwanzaa's a very competent defender, but I think if I had the choice between Kwanzaa and Konate, I'd probably go with Konate. I mean, I'm looking at his statistics from last week. They're not bad. He did very, very well. But I think it's just a matter of preference in that position. I just think Konate is just generally a better player.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. We've heard no Ivan Toney today for Brentford. He could be a big miss for them. He was influential in the games they played last season, yet to feature this season due to ongoing transfer talk on the Brentford and England international forward. Do you think he could be a big miss today? And how key is Keane Lewis Potter going to be if he is to replace the boost of Ivan Toney in this Brentford side this afternoon?
Well, I think it's important to note as well, Keane Lewis Potter, there's a lot of pressure on him in that number 9 role, because it might appear that Brentford might have a striker shortage as well anyway, because they have no recognised striker on the bench. Keane Lewis Potter will be expected to step up at the moment to help Brentford get some goals, but I think it's also they're going to be expecting some assistance from Vissa and Brian Mbeumo, who scored last week in the game against Crystal Palace. They're not short of goals in that team, but I think if you recognise striker, I think they're maybe a little short in that area. Selling Ivan Toney, it does not give. It gives them about a week to make sure they get a recognised striker in, and finding good strikers these days is very, very hard to do.
Yes, and one man who would have probably replaced Ivan Toney in this Brentford side is summer signing Igor Thiago, who joined Brentford from Club Brugge in the summer for a fee of around about 33 million euros.
Mm.
It cost Brentford from Club Brugge, but in his debut game for Brentford in the game against FC Wimbledon in pre-season, he injured his knee, and according to reports, it's out now until beginning of January, and that's a massive blow, especially if Tony is to leave as well. They potentially would have to look at potentially getting two strikers in, Paul, to try and fill the void until January.
Yeah, it's a big loss for Brentford, is that, and a headache for Thomas Frank. And today's game is a mountain to play against Liverpool. This Liverpool are very, very strong at home. They rarely lose. Brentford, on the whole, have only had 2 wins over Liverpool in 86 years, as JB rightly mentioned. At the moment, it's a very challenging situation. One interesting fact is Fabio Carvalho, who joined from Liverpool for 23.4 million euros, is on the bench today. We may see him today. He can play in an attacking midfield role. So it might be interesting to see how he gets on today. He may need to come on today. But they're going to have to support Keane Lewis Potter for sure.
Yes, another player on the bench for Brentford, formerly of Liverpool, joined this summer, was Seb Vandenberg, the central defender, joined Brentford for 23.6 million euros this summer, and he returns to Anfield today. Just one quick question before we hand over to JB as the teams get ready to emerge from the tunnel. Paul, 2 quick questions, and be brief on both of them. First of all, score prediction for this game this afternoon?
2-0 Liverpool.
And Arne Slot, first home game as Liverpool manager at Anfield in the Premier League, first competitive home game in charge of Liverpool. Big bills to fill in Jurgen Klopp leaving or his replaced as manager. Do you think he can do that void, or do you think he's going to be an hard task for Arne Slot?
Well, I mean, he'll want to get off to the best possible start. He doesn't want any slip-ups today. A lot of pressure on him today, first home game. No slip-ups today. He wants to get settled into the role without too much problems. I think he's capable. He's got the squad. I think he's capable to challenge for the title, like Arsenal. And he's got a very talented squad. If they can maybe add to that before the end of the window, you never know.
Yes, thank you very much there, Paul. Paul again in just a few moments' time. So, with the teams ready to emerge from the tunnel, big up to my friend Danny, who is tuned in, listening on Twitch right now. Danny, I'm now going to hand you over to your match commentary team for Brentford trip to Anfield to take on Liverpool. It's Liverpool against Brentford in the Premier League in the company of Paul James. But first, the warmest returns to your man in the hot seat, John Stuttard.
Thank you, Ross. Good afternoon, everybody, and it's lovely to be back. And it's lovely to be back at Anfield, a lovely place for Arne Slot's first match as Liverpool manager. He's got big shoes to fill, of course, with Jurgen Klopp, of course. But as the Cops sing, of course, "You Never Walk Alone" with those famous scarves hanging in the air, it's a throwback to a bygone day. The Cop, a special place, and Arne Slot all smiles there as he shakes hands with his Brentford counterpart Thomas Frank, who's got his own problems at the moment. No Ivan Toney amongst interest as well, but it's a special atmosphere. It's lovely, and I couldn't think of a better place to make my return to TC Hub duty than Anfield. It's one of the great cathedrals in not just British football, but all over the world. It's a wonderful venue, and the "You Never Walk Alone" chant is sung all around this famous stadium. The hairs on the back of your neck completely and utterly stand up. It's just one of those occasions. Liverpool back in the Champions League. They won the League Cup last season. They'll be looking to improve a little bit on that. And now the players will The players just huddling at the moment. We'll give you the recap of the two teams in just a second or two. But Jurgen Klopp, it was a big shock when he announced late last season to retire. He has retired now from management. There was talk during the summer that he'd replace Gareth Southgate as England manager. That hasn't materialised as the Liverpool team. I'll quickly run through their side. I'll quickly run through the 2-11s and then bring the substitutes as soon as we get them. So Alisson is in goal for Liverpool. Then it's Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ibrahim Konate, Virgil van Dijk the captain, and Andy Robertson the back four. Then it's Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister, the two holding midfielders. Then further forward we've got Mo Salah, Dominic Szołęcki, and Luis Diaz, and Diego Jota, who scored at Ipswich last week, along with Salah, starts as the lone striker up front. For Brentford, it's Mark Flecken in goal. Then it's Mads Rodslev, Nathan Collins, and Ethan Pinnock and Christopher Ajer across the back. And then it's Christian Nordgaard, the captain, Vitaly Janelt, Matthias Jensen, Brian Mbembo, King Lewis Potter, and Johan Riese. The game has just kicked off, incidentally. Brentford in the all-change shirts of white with dark shorts, and Flecken, who's in an all-yellow strip today, gets it out to the far side. Liverpool attacking the Anfield Road end. Great big cantilever two-tier stand away to my left, and it's an early attack here for number 20 here, Christopher Ajer, who's taken on Alexander-Arnold. I'll give you the referees and officials in just a second when I get a breaking play. I've got Paul James alongside me, and we'll bring him in as well. 30 seconds gone here at Anfield. It's still Brentford on the ball. Alexander-Arnold then volleys it away up towards halfway. Headed away by bit up and underish there by Ethan Pinnock, the Jamaican international. And a little bit of a battle. First free kick of the game to Liverpool. Before we bring Paul James in, who's fresh from a great commentary yesterday at Villa Park. The referee today comes from Warwickshire, that's Stuart Atwell. Two assistants, Simon Bennett and Dan Rob Baffin. And then Anthony Taylor, the fourth official, and VAR, if required, Michael Albert. Let's get our first view of the moment in the first couple of minutes. Early thoughts from Paul James.
Hi, yes. Welcome back, JB, by the way.
Thank
you. You're welcome. Yeah, Liverpool has started off very steady. I mean, there might be a little bit of nerves jangling in that Liverpool team. This is Arne Slot's first home game. Obviously, as I said to Russ earlier on, he doesn't want any slip-ups today. It's very important for him and for Liverpool they pick up all 3 points, with Arsenal and City already getting off to winning starts as well.
Yeah, and absolutely. And Manchester United slipping up at Brighton as well.
Yeah, that was something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great match there. A late goal there. Decided it there for Brighton as Liverpool comes charging forward. Still 0-0 if you've joined us late. Luis Diaz played the ball in field to Alexis McAllister midway inside the Brentford half of the field. Brentford now in their fourth season as a Premier League club, which is a terrific achievement for them. So many years buzzing around the bottom two divisions of the Football League for so many years. But Thomas Frank has really changed the ethos of the club as Pinnock gets away from Jota there. Good defensive work. So the danger there from Diego Jota. Game starting at a pretty frenetic pace, and a free kick there to Brentford. A foul there on Christian Nordgaard, the Brentford skipper. 2 minutes 40 gone live, and all these platforms were live on TC Hub 2, JB Sports. We're back on Storm FM, folks. You'll be pleased to know. So also our Storm FM followers out there, lovely to see you back for this season. And of course, Paul's channel focus on football as well. So on all those platforms for you to enjoy. Don't forget, if you want to check out the latest football news and views, we have a Twitter handle, Commentary Live 1, for all the latest transfer gossip. As we get it, of course, we've got a week left for the transfer window. I won't tell you what I think of events at Turf Moor at the moment. But, it's fair to say that Paul and I were a little bit perplexed with rage. But we're in a good mood in the commentary box. It's nice to have the old band back together. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold into Gravenberch, trying to force his way past Nordgaard. And the ball breaks kindly to Luis Diaz. Left-hand side, tries to cut in field. Nordgaard again breaking the play up and making some vital interceptions already in this early stages of the game, which is almost 4 minutes old. The ball had a play for a throw, but Norgard, the captain, Paul, making some vital interceptions even in these early stages for Brentford.
Yes, he's doing very well early on, isn't he? Leads by example, does Norgard. He's the classic example of a good captain. Works very hard. When I covered the game between Brentford and Crystal Palace last week, I noticed the same thing. He's very, very talented and works very, very hard.
He does indeed. There's Arne Slot, Dutchman, former Ajax manager. Unbeaten. In fact, he's unbeaten in his last 27 matches as an head coach or a manager. I don't like the term head coach, Paul, as you know. I'm very old. As every real listener will know, for the last 4 years and 8 years and the 4 years previously with JB Sports, I've never been a fan of the phrase head coach.
Paul, yeah, it's very American, isn't it? It's
too Americanized for my liking.
Yeah, I
agree. Anyway, here's a chance now for Keane Lewis Potter, given a big responsibility today in that central striking role. I know you and Russ were talking about him at the top of the show. What do you think he needs to do with Ivan Toney out of the picture?
Well, he's going to want to try to get goals, but there's a lot of pressure on him. He needs help from Johan Visser and Brian Abuemo, I think. I think the focus needs to kind of be taken off him a little bit so he can kind of work and do what he does well. And Brian Abuemo and Johan Visser supporting him. I think Brentford can manage, but they need another striker in the window before the window closes, in my opinion. Like I said earlier, they don't have a recognised striker on the bench.
No, which is a worry for Thomas Frank. And then there's the point that, every team wants a striker, Paul, but the problem is there's not too many prolific ones in massive supply, is there? Not ones that are readily available to move clubs.
No, this is true, and Arsenal have certainly struggled in the same area as well. They do need a recognised striker. Now, the problem is, as you said, they are like gold dust to get a hold of, and with a week to go in the transfer window, I fear for Brentford a little bit in that respect.
Yes, I've actually backed them to get relegated. I think this might be the season where the luck may run out with them, but you never know. They might surprise a few. They did surprise Palace a bit on last Sunday, as Paul realises. And here's Visser making a good burst. This is a good start from Brentford. There's just no one in there. There was only Brian Mbembo in the penalty area as he crossed in there. And Mbembo was probably struggling to keep up with his fellow striker there. But Brentford showing a little bit of ball, showing some balls of steel in this opening 6 or 7 minutes here. 6.5 gone here live on all the TCL platforms. On a Sunday afternoon. This isn't the only game that we've got coming live for you this week. Of course, we've got League Cup action on Tuesday and Wednesday. Yes, I'm back for both those games. Tuesday night, with an 8 o'clock kickoff, we've got Birmingham against Fulham live from St Andrews. Alternate commentary from St Andrews, and then the night after that, we're up in the home of Robin Hood and the River Trent, Nottingham Forest against Newcastle United. I remember one of Paul and I's first games was at Nottingham Forest, in that infamous cup tie with Arsenal, which Lewis Grabban got the winner. I'm sure you remember that night, Paul. We had a ball that night in the cold at Nottingham, didn't we?
Yeah, it was one of the most interesting upsets I've ever seen. Personally, I consider myself both an Arsenal and Burnley fan. I tried to stay as neutral as possible to the point that I felt I was coming across as more in favour of Nottingham Forest. But I was very happy for Nottingham Forest. I felt they deserved it.
Yeah, and they went on to the 6th round, incidentally, where they did face Liverpool and only lost to the goal from Diego Jota. So they had a good run under Steve Cooper, who's now Leicester City manager, and there's a little bit of uproar in that part of the world because Cooper was a Forest legend. Of course, he's gone to rivals now. They lost at Fulham yesterday, but they played really well on Monday night against Spurs, and Jamie Vardy can still bang them in the Premier League at 37 years young. But anyway, back to today, and it's Liverpool breaking forward on the far side. Again, it's just patient build-up, and it's Gravenberch in the centre of midfield. Back to Van Dijk on halfway. It's been a slow start from Liverpool, but you'd expect that with a new manager. He's trying to implement his own fresh ideas to the style of play that he might want to have, but they've got a very good manager. As I say, he's been unbeaten in 27 games as a manager, or in his last 27 games as a manager. Dutchman knows that he's been very successful. Here's Luis Diaz But Brentford have got 7 or 8 players back at the moment, and they are, at the moment, Paul, they're stifling Liverpool at the moment. Liverpool just can't get towards that 18-yard box.
Yeah, they're defending very, very well at Brentford right now. And for Liverpool, it's adoption of a new system, a 4-2-3-1. Of course, we used to more of a 4-3-3 with Jurgen Klopp, or a 3-4-3. Now it's 4-2-3-1. The players have to get used to that. It's a steady start by Liverpool, but Brentford defending very, very well.
Of course, and they've won the first quarter of the match as well, Liverpool. Just to remind you that we do have a game in progress at the Swansea City Stadium, and it's the South Wales derby. And there's been a goal, and it was 1-0. It was 1-0, remember, through Swansea took the lead through Cohen after 10 minutes, but Callum, Robinson's just equalised on 79 minutes. There's about 7 minutes to go in that game, and it's Swansea 1, Cardiff 1. So the bragging rights look as if they're going to be shared down in South Wales in the Championship this afternoon. We'll give you a full-time score during this first half. Here comes the corner. In it goes towards Konate. Just over his head, in fact. Swarovski has been beaten to it here, and then Bembo can make a good break here. He's got a good opportunity here. It's Wisa rather, and Bembo had made the run on the far side. Still Wisa. Liverpool brought 7 or 8 players back. I just thought for a moment, I just felt Brentford there just missed a trick or two. They just didn't bring too many men forward. And Liverpool, lightning fast, got everybody behind the ball now, and Brentford have retreated back to halfway. It's Janelt now. Takes possession, goes back to Nathan Collins, ex-Burnley, of course. Had a year there, now went to Wolves. Didn't really set the world on fire at Wolves, never really. Nathan Collins, unfortunately, will be remembered for a moment of madness against Newcastle 3 seasons ago, which cost Burnley their Premier League status when he gave away a stupid penalty, which allowed Kevin Wilson to score and ultimately send the Clarets down that day. Clarets in those days they weren't managed yet by Vincent Kompany. They were managed by Mike Jackson, who's still at the club, incidentally. Here's Collins again now, taking the ball from Mark Flecken, the goalkeeper. And McAllister's just gone through the back of a Brentford player there, and it was Frieser. Free kick midway inside the Brentford half. And I think, I was going to say, let's just break off for a minute. This is Lewis Potter, far side here. Can he work some Harry Potter magic, perhaps? No pun intended. The ball comes out to the far side, and it's a Jer making a run. It's Lewis Potter offside. He looked to me, on first glance, he was offside. Corner's been given, but Brentford here, Paul, in the opening 11 and a half minutes, giving as good as they've got. It's still 0-0, but they're giving Liverpool a good game at the moment.
Well, Liverpool are going to have to pick up Johan Visser and Brian Abuemo. They are very, very quick, and they are catching Liverpool out at the moment on the break. Now, so far, they haven't really created anything, but Liverpool is going to have to watch for that. Potentially, they could get punished. Yeah,
and they're not the best at set pieces there, as we found out last season under Klopp, which is why they finished, I think, second, third, or fourth. So, they won the League Cup. And they messed up really in the FA Cup last season as the corner came in, that 4-3 game, never to be repeated. But here's Diego Jota now. He's got players ahead of him. Luis Diaz, Diaz is away. He's surely going to be 1-on-1 with Flecken. It's Diaz. It's 1-0 Liverpool. The only slot here at Anfield is off to a flying start. It was a lightning fast counter-attack from Liverpool. Diaz maintained his run. It went past the last defender. There was no doubt about it. He was onside. The ball was played through. It was a lovely ball forward again by Diego Jota, and made a long bursting run. And Arne Slot, after a dodgy 11 minutes or so, have scored the classic breakaway. Started by Salah, then Jota went through the centre, over the halfway line. Diaz definitely onside as the ball was played, looked at Flecken and beat him at the near post. Paul James, what a start for Liverpool.
Indeed. This breakout reminds me of the old days of Liverpool when they were so quick at breaking out in numbers. Look at that. That was penalty area to penalty area in less than 30 seconds. And the finish as well by Diaz was absolutely outstanding. Mark Flecken, no chance. And he got his hand to it, but not really any chance of keeping that out, really. The finish is really good. But the breakout here is what I'm going to focus on. So quick in numbers. Penalty area to penalty area, less than 30 seconds. That's how dangerous this Liverpool team is.
Yeah, they've certainly got pace coming through it. So it's Liverpool 1, Brentford 0. And it was a finish that Kevin Keegan and Kenny Dalglish, who both wore number 7s in their time at Anfield, would have been proud of themselves. As Paul said, it was a terrific finish. Flecking did get a hand on it, it has to be said. But the shot was just too hot for him to handle. And Liverpool from Brentford's own corner. And it was the front three in tandem that set that goal up. Salah winning the initial ball. And then it was carried on by Jota and finished off by Diaz. Anyway, the throw from Brentford. Can it hit back straight away into the penalty area? It goes, and it's hooked away. And again, it's Salah on the break. If he can reach this first, Liverpool can be in again. It's Salah. Good challenge. Brilliant challenge there by King Louis Potter, the striker of all people. Absolutely superb. Now, Wisa has it on halfway. Uses number 30 here, Roslev. And Benbow now. Brentford having to slow it down a little bit. Later score in the South Wales derby. Still 1-1. They're into the last minute of normal time there at the Swansea City Stadium. That's in the Championship, of course. As soon as we get a final score, we'll let you know. And I'll give you a reminder of all the earlier Premier League games as well, including an 8-goal thriller at Molineux this afternoon. More about that a little later. This is Nathan Collins, and he has to use Mark Flecken again. Brentford trying to just settle things down after that show-stopping goal from Liverpool. And they are the masters of the counter-attack. They have been the masters down the years, and it was a classic Liverpool breakout and a classic Liverpool goal. Lovely team goal as well, involving the front three. As Robin Mack gets the ball out there, Konate looks to turn away from Jensen, and Liverpool now will feel a bit more settled now that they've got goal, Paul, and but Brentford had a couple of half chances there from that long throw-in.
Yeah, they have. I mean, Brentford, like I said, they're catching Liverpool on the break a couple of times as well. But I think the early goal will settle Liverpool down. It'll get the crowd on their side. And they don't need much of that for Liverpool fans to do that. But they've started off very well now, Liverpool. They'll settle and control the game now and dictate play. It's going to be a challenge for Brentford from here on in.
Absolutely. Still 1-1 in that South Wales derby. They've got into stoppage time now. I don't know how long they've been. Salah keeps the ball in on the far side. No, he can't keep the ball in on the far side, but it is a Liverpool throw. It was cleared away by a Brentford defender as he went into the penalty area. Still 1-1 if you in the South Wales derby. Now, as I said, we'll update you with a lot of other sport going on at the moment. No cricket today. The fourth test was wrapped up yesterday by England. Very comfortably as well. As Luis Diaz now uses Robertson, and Robertson just sprays the ball towards the far side. There's two Liverpool players going for it. In fact, Trent Alexander-Arnold took it away from Mo Salah, and it's gone out of play for a Brentford throw about on the far side, 15 yards from the halfway line. Luis Diaz has scored now in his 100th appearance for Liverpool. A big milestone for him, no doubt about that, as the ball is back to Mark Flecken, uses his right foot. Again along the ground, always a worry for a supporter of a club when goalkeepers try to play out from the back. It's a new thing that's coming to vogue in the last sort of dozen or so years. Not many teams now use the long ball approach. Feeling simply, I think we've got foreign managers now that, not too many British managers. I think probably Sean Dyche still uses the long ball to dramatic effect as Robertson comes charging forward. Here's Diaz in the area. Robertson on the elbow. Good shot towards the near post and the near side, and Flecken with the right hand hooked it out for a corner, but another lightning fast breakout there from Liverpool, Paul.
Oh, they're just so quick going forward, and I think Brentford can't handle it. And again, this was a save you'd expect Flecken to make, but it's very, very quick again by Liverpool, just breaking out in numbers. And they just overwhelm that Brentford defence. Look, it's 4-on-3 as you get to the point where the shot is taking place. So that extra man allows Robertson to get in and strike the shot, and Flecken has to make the save at his near post.
Indeed. 7 minutes have been added on at Swansea, incidentally, in that derby match in the Championship. 1-1, that's what game stands. We've played 19 minutes here on TCL, 1-0 Liverpool. And they have a corner. Trent Alexander-Arnold to swing it in towards the near post, and did that deflected to the side netting. It must have done off Nathan Collins. So Liverpool could try again from another corner. It wasn't the best corner in the world. I don't think it was going inside the post. I'm not sure Nathan Collins could have. I think he could have afforded to have left that, but nevertheless,
I don't think he wants to take that chance, JB. I mean, it probably isn't going in, but it's the goalkeeper was scrambling.
Yeah, the corner came in whilst Paul was talking, and it was pissed away by Flecken back towards halfway. We played 3 minutes in that South Wales derby, 1-1. That score is at the moment. I'll give you a result from the Dutch Grand Prix as well, because that's been going on today. Of course, the Formula One season now back in full swing after a little bit of a summer break there. It's Virgil van Dijk takes possession. 20 minutes gone here at Anfield. Liverpool 1-0. Been a good watch this. Been very enjoyable. Nice game to welcome myself back into the TCL fold. As the ball comes back, and it's a lovely play, and it's Salah again inside the penalty area. The ball took a deflection. Well, Salah wants a corner. I'm not sure he's going to get it, but again, a lovely bit of play this. Over the top. Brentford being pulled apart here. Salah just ghosted into the penalty area from the far side. And let's just see if that got a deflection. I'm not sure. I think he got his foot underneath it, to be totally honest.
I'm just looking at it now. It was good play by Jobbersley. Pulled back. It's great build-up again by Liverpool. Yeah, I think he just gets his foot underneath that. Great build-up again by Liverpool. And Brentford are just being pulled apart all over the place here. And point of note, Salah's sporting a new haircut. Didn't recognise him at first.
I must admit, I had to check twice myself. Yeah, we're used to seeing him with much longer hair, but yeah, he must have had a trip to the barbers during the summer break, the Egyptian king. But he looks pretty good. He looks pretty good for that trim. Got to be said. Anyway, back to the game, and it's Robertson now in possession for Liverpool, leading 1-0 here, live on the TC Hub and all the platforms. Lovely to have you with us on these participating YouTube channels. That is JB Sports, Storm FM, TC Hub, TC Hub 2, and Focus on Football. Here is the trimmed Salah in towards Sabiarski. Yeah, and then he plays the ball back to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Right-hand corner of the penalty area. Back to Gravenbach. Gravenbach looking for options. Robertson trying to control it to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Couldn't control it. It's out for a Brentford throw-in in line with their own 6-yard line, and it's Roasab to take that throw. Anfield now looking spick and span. Bigger stands. The Cop always ball. Kenny Dalglish stand away to my opposite to me and Paul here. We're in the big 3-tiered main stand that was done up about 6 years ago, and the new Anfield Road end. I have to say, Paul, the big top tier. It looks an absolute giant of a stand, that Anfield Road stand. They've done some great improvements to the stadium, haven't they? It looks an absolute palace to play your football.
Yes, it's always been a lovely stadium as Anfield, and these improvements have really made it shine. And they need to, because there's a lot of interest in Liverpool, not just in Liverpool, but all over England and the world, really. So I think teams like Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, and Arsenal and Spurs have already done it. They have to increase their capacity to accommodate this so that people can actually get to Premier League games.
Yeah, absolutely. And Everton, obviously, burdened with Goodison Park at the moment, moving to a new stadium in Bramley Dock next year across the city. It will be, I must admit, from a... Oh, hang on, let's just see that. Flecken just getting it out for a throw-in. Is it been kept in? It has been kept in. But Brentford now, I'll come back to the conversation about Everton in just a second, as Lewis Potter, who was starting as a central striker, is having to do some defensive work at the moment. He's won his team a throw-in inside their own area. But it will be a wrench to see Goodison Park go at the end of the season, Paul, considering the history there. It's a great old ground. I've been lucky enough to commentate there a few times down the years. It's gonna. I mean, they've got a lovely stadium coming next year, Everton. Yeah, it'll be a sad day when Goodison Park does go at the end of the season.
Oh, yeah, it is. It was a sad day when Highbury went. It was a sad day, even dare I say it, when White Hart Lane went.
It was a sad old day. I covered that game.
Yeah, it's just when you see those old stadiums going, it is a sad day. Because there's history there. There's history with clubs like Everton. The World Cup in 1966 had a number of games played at Goodison Park. Brazil played there. It's very, very sad to see. And I don't have an answer for it, JB. I wish I did. You kind of had, you want to get people into Premier League games as capacity increases, but you also don't want to lose these kind of old stadiums. And I can kind of understand people's feelings on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to let you know, they're still playing in that South Wales derby. There were 7 minutes added on at the end of that game. They're now into the 9th minute of stoppage time. Still one apiece. And I've got a funny feeling that might just stay the same. As soon as we get confirmation of the full-time score, we'll let you know here on the TC Hub. 1-1 that game stands. In this one, 25 minutes gone, so we're halfway past the halfway mark of the first half. Brentford with it all to do. 1-0 down. It's Flecking in possession to Nathan Collins. Left-hand side of his own penalty area. Gets the ball forward and another attack breaks down. The ball knocked out of play there by Wissa. It was behind Matthias Jensen, and it's a cheap throw into Liverpool. Brentford, the last sort of 3 or 4 minutes, Paul, just starting to lose their rhythm a bit.
Yeah, they're being picked apart by Liverpool. Liverpool needed that early goal just to settle down and relax. And now that they're playing really fluent football in Liverpool, and Brentford have no answer to it. It's this squad of superstars that Liverpool have had, it has to be said. They really do move the ball around very, very well and are very quick, and they're pulling Brentford apart all over the pitch right now.
Yeah, just a bit of news from the Swansea Cardiff game. Cardiff manager Errol Bullant has been sent off. Obviously arguing with the referee, I would have thought, but it's all happening at in that South Wales derby. They're still playing on, I believe. I've not heard anything to the contrary, but there's been a red card in that game. Errol Bullant has been sent off. And since sensational happenings going on in the Championship this afternoon. And that's why the Championship is the best second-tier league in the world. The ball played up to Luis Diaz. Premier League action for Sunday afternoon. Diaz running down, and that's surely got to be a foul there, and Stuart Atwell agrees. It was a definite foul there by Christian Norgard, the Brentford captain. And a free kick, Paul, in a very, very promising position.
Yeah, and there's a number of players that could take that free kick. It's a late challenge too. He's actually going across the penalty area. It probably wasn't necessary. Excuse me, but you can see here the challenge wasn't necessary. He just body checked him. I mean, he's not going to get away with that. And it's a free kick now in a very, very dangerous position for Liverpool.
Yeah, they're just lining up the wall now. There's 4 in that wall. They're now playing 11. They went to 12 minutes added on in that Swansea Cardiff game. My word, that could go on till Christmas the way things are going in that one. We've only had 27 and a half minutes in this one, but Liverpool have a free kick. They're taking the royal time over it. The wall is 10 yards back. Trent Alexander-Arnold is one of the 3-man committee. Salah was there too, and so is Soblarski as well, number 8. Mark Flecking just going to his near left-hand post and making sure that wall, 5-man wall, is spick and span. Could be made for Trent Alexander-Arnold. I've seen him score free kicks before and he's laughing. It is Alexander-Arnold and it's not too far. Just at the left-hand stanchion at the back of the goal. No danger to Mark Flecking at this moment in time, but Brentford here, if they're not careful, Paul, this could end up being a bit of a hammering.
Yeah, it wasn't a million miles away, was it? Just over the crossbar. But they've got to be very careful because Liverpool are very clinical as well. They take their chances, and for Brentford, if they have to be careful, it's going to be a long old afternoon.
Final whistle has actually gone in that game at the Liberty Stadium in Swansea. It's finished Swansea 1, Cardiff 1. Cohen for Swansea after 10 minutes. Robinson after 79 for Cardiff. Cardiff had their manager sent off in stoppage time. They played 13 minutes of stoppage time in that one. The points are shared. Cardiff get their first point of the season under their new manager. But he will now have a touchline ban, having been sent off in that game. Here at Anfield in the Premier League, it's Liverpool 1, Brentford 0. Now then, a chance here for Visa to make a good brush, and he wins a free kick, and the first yellow card of the game will go to a Liverpool player, and that's Zoborowski. And it was a yellow. It had to be a yellow card because at the end of the day, Visa was getting away, and he blatantly pushed him over.
Yeah, there was no attempt to win the ball. Those are usually yellow cards, usually without question. He just kind of tried to grab a hold of Visa's arm there. And you can see it here, just at this angle. Yeah, it's not necessary. They had Liverpool players coming back. Again, it's a very unnecessary foul to give away.
And a free kick now, which Mark Flecken has come over to halfway to take. Free kick is about 4 yards over the halfway line inside the Liverpool half, and it's Flecken the keeper. Swings it in towards Nathan Collins. It's headed away. There was a lot of Liverpool players converging. I think half an hour gone, and Salah's conceded another free kick. Stuart Atwell is getting the bird from 50,000 Liverpool supporters. Let's see this again. It was there to be won, and yes, he's barged Lewis Potter over. That's a definite free kick. Just to remind you of all the other scores in the earlier games, not Brentford, but Bournemouth and Newcastle, they drew 1-1. Tavernier scored for Bournemouth after 37 minutes. Anthony Gordon equalising for Newcastle after 76, so it finished 1-1 in that game. And in an absolute goal fest at Molineux, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Chelsea 6. I'll go through the goal scorers as soon as this set piece has been sorted out from Brentford, and it's a great opportunity this for them. If they can draw themselves level, it'll give them a little bit of encouragement. Looks like Mbembo is going to take this now for the team in light purple as the ball is went in. Oh, and a free header! It was a free header there. What an opportunity! I think it was. Let's have a look who it was. It was the number 6 Norgard, the captain. What a brilliant opportunity wasted.
Yes, I mean, that is that for me, JB, needs to be put away. Brentford are going to get precious few chances, and they'll probably not get anyone as good as that. Probably should have scored there for me.
Absolutely, let me tell you what's been happening in that game at Wolves then. 6-2 it finished to Chelsea, but that's just half the story. Nicholas Jackson put Chelsea ahead as early as the second minute. Then Cunha equalised for Wolves. Then Palmer put Chelsea ahead. Then Larson in the 6th minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half got the scores level. It was 2-2 at the break. Then Madueke after 49, 58 and 63 minutes scoring a remarkable hat-trick. João Felix completed the scoring after 80 minutes, and Cole Palmer, as well as one goal, got 3 assists in that game. I'll tell you what, I wonder what Pep Guardiola's feeling right now. He sold Cole Palmer a year ago to this day, and Cole Palmer, since he's been at Chelsea, yes, he has not won anything, Paul, but hasn't he just been brilliant in a Chelsea shirt? Yeah,
they probably regret getting rid of Cole Palmer because he has been brilliant since he's been at Chelsea. Absolutely brilliant, and he's still a young man. He's got a brilliant career ahead of him.
Yeah, and a free kick to Brentford again. Flecken takes into the penalty area. It goes just to the left-hand side. It's come out on the volley for Matthias Jensen, who blazed it into the cup. Not going to trouble the scorers or Alisson in the goal. It remains 1-0 after 33 minutes. Whilst that goal kick's being teed up by Alisson, let me just bring you up to speed with what's happened in the Dutch Grand Prix. It's a great result for Lando Norris. He's won the Grand Prix. We'll give you the full race results in a second. He won it from Max Verstappen, finished in second place. Charles Leclerc was third. As for George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, the other Brits, it's nice to see a Brit at the top of the podium, actually, Lando Norris, and it's good to see a McLaren at the top of the podium once more. Actually had the fastest lap as well of the race, 1 minute 13.8. George Russell finished 7th. Lewis Hamilton finished 8th. Lewis Hamilton, of course, you may remember a few weeks ago winning the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. But great result for Britain and for Lando Norris. I'll give you the Drivers' Championship as soon as we get another break in play, because here come Brentford again, looking for this equalising goal. They've got Roslev now, trying to play the ball in. And Mbembo has it, edge of the area. Now then, can Roslev get a good ball in? Alisson stayed and then Gant, and it's another corner to Brentford. They're having a little flurry here, Paul, and that's encouraging for Thomas Frank.
Yeah, it is. They're giving it a go, aren't they? And they've had a couple of chances. Not to mention Christian Norgard's chance, of course, but good defending there by Kanate as well. So it's a bit of pressure by Brentford. It's good to see.
I'll give you those Drivers' and Constructors' Championship standings for the Formula One as soon as we get a break in play. But we'll stick with the game at the moment with 35 minutes almost gone. 34 and 3/4 minutes, so we're going rapidly towards the final 10 minutes of what's been a highly competitive first half. In comes towards the near post, headed on. Collins trying to rescue the situation. Collins inside the area, does well to try and get half a yard, then try to get a left-footed shot off. He sort of scuffed it. It wasn't going anywhere fast because he was surrounded by 3 Liverpool defenders, and nothing else comes of that. And Trent Alexander-Arnold hits it up the field. Salah will chase against Mbembo, who wins that particular battle. Now shields the ball away from Salah, gets it back to Flecken, and no more danger to talk about there. So the standings at the end of the Dutch Grand Prix as follows. Max Verstappen still leads the championship with 295 points. Lando Norris second with 225 points. Charles Leclerc Ferrari 192. Pastari and the other McLaren 179 points. Carlos Sainz 172 in the other Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes 154 points. Sergio Perez 139. Fernando Alonso 50 points. He's 9th in the Constructors' title. He's been around for years. As George Russell is in 8th place, incidentally, in the other Mercedes. So that brings you up to date. The Constructors' Championship as well. Nothing happening in the game. So that's as well, we'll bring you these just to fill a bit of time. Red Bull still 30 points ahead in the Constructors' Championship. McLaren closing the gap on Christian Horner's team. 334 points Red Bull. McLaren 404 points. Ferrari 370 points. Mercedes completing the top 4 with 276. Aston Martin, incidentally, are in 5th position. Williams, who used to be winning the Constructors' Championship year in, year out, no wins and only 4 points. What a come down for Williams, who were the best team for many, many years in Formula One. What it feels those LCN days for Williams are over. It really is. Anyway, Liverpool on the attack. That's it's sad to see Williams at the back of the grid there as free kick's been given against Grabenbach. And a yellow card is going to be issued to Stuart Atwell. Grabenbach now becomes the 2nd Liverpool player in the book.
Oh, that's a late challenge as well, JB, isn't it? That is really late. And it's what we would call in the old days a full challenge.
I don't know, VAR might look at this. It's a 2-footed challenge, I mean, we've seen red cards for less.
Yeah, I know. It's very, very... I mean, let's take a look at this. Yes, I mean, we have seen red cards for less, and the studs are up as well, at least on one of the feet. I think probably that should be looked at, but these days now with the VAR...
It wouldn't surprise me in the least if Michael Oliver had a look at that, as we see 1 or 2 of the Brentford subs warming up. It's interesting to see really what would be the reaction would be. I'm not sure if they are going to go to VAR, but there is a bit of a delay. There's nothing going on as we speak. In fact, the free kick has been taken, so there's going to be no further action, Paul. So it won't. VAR are not going to look at it, or they checked it and they're quite satisfied that the challenge is worthy of just a yellow card.
Well, what they said at the start of the season, of course, is that it was really only going to be for clear and obvious errors. So maybe they felt that wasn't a clear and obvious error. I think it was very borderline, but it's borderline clear and obvious.
Yeah, and it's nice to see everybody clamouring for me at the moment. It's media radio jingles. Lovely to hear from you guys. Danny as well. Big up to Russ. Nice to see Russ getting a bit of love as well. It's I have to say, Russ and Paul, in my absence, have absolutely stepped up to the plate, and their commentaries are as great as ever. Paul was excellent. Paul, you were excellent yesterday. If I ever retire, you're my successor. I just want to make it clear.
Thanks very much.
It's a pleasure, but I'm not retiring yet. Still a little bit of life left in the old dog. Yes, Brentford still trailing by a goal to nil as Norgard there. That's a bit of a naughty one there on Luis Diaz by Norgard, but there's going to be any further action taken. In fact, Norgard is actually, he's been booked for that. He's been booked for that. So it was a free kick as it turned out.
I think Norberg has been watching a lot of ice hockey lately, because that's a second body check he's delivered today.
You could argue that could have been a red. You could have had 2 yellows and equalled a red. But, it's one of those, isn't it? But I wouldn't say Liverpool. I mean, we've got about 5 minutes to go. Here's Alisson. Oh, he doubled someone and almost allowed Wissa in to block the attempted clearance. Liverpool been a little bit sloppy this first half. That'll concern Arne Slot a little bit. I think they need that second goal to come. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold inside the area, deflected and over the top. It was a wonderful rippling run, cutting in from the right-hand side from Trent Alexander-Arnold. He got his shot off. It took a huge deflection, and Paul, on another day, that could have gone anywhere. That could have been flying into the net. It came off Nathan Collins and over the crossbar.
Yes, really smart from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he's so good at that. He likes to get forward into advanced positions, and he picks up the ball on the corner of the penalty area on the right-hand side, cuts in with the cross and the deflection. Yeah, could have gone anywhere. We've seen them go in, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah, the corner comes in. He's headed away by Norgard at the near post, that is. And now Brentford can break, but Gravenbach should have enough. Wayward all there to get about a 10-yard start there on reset, and that was enough. And so 3 yellow cards issued. One to Norgard for Brentford, the other 2 to Ryan Gravenbach and to Dominic Zawarski. 3 yellow cards shown from Stuart Atwell, who's refereed it with a good deal of common sense. And I never thought I'd see the day, Paul, I'd actually say that about Stuart Atwell, considering some of the things I said about him last season.
Well, in the summer, in the Euros, some of the things I said about him. It's like, I feel like saying, what have you done with Stuart Atwell?
Anyway, the ball into the penalty area, looking for McAllister, and it's easy plucked out the air by Mark Flecken, the Brentford keeper. And here goes Brian Mbembo now. He's got Wiesa up ahead of him, but he's surrounded by 3 Liverpool players, and unfortunately support wasn't too quick in showing for him. And that attack breaks down. He did have Mads Rodslev making a breakdown at Brentford right-hand side. And inside is being Paul James Lock. Here's Rodslev now. And he plays the ball in towards Jensen. A lovely ball if he can find Lewis Potter. And he's found him brilliantly. Now then, what's it Lewis Potter got against Alexander Arnold? Lewis Potter shoots. It's a good effort with the right foot. Straight down Alisson's throat, admittedly. But Lewis Potter, Paul, showing a little bit of skill, taking on Alexander-Arnold and absolutely ripping it.
Yeah, this was a really good effort. Look as he cuts inside away from Alexander-Arnold there to the corner of the D. Forces a decent save out of Alisson as well. And this is what Lewis Potter needs to do. He can't be afraid to shoot from the edge of the area and give it a go. And that's what he's doing. That is good to see.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with shooting on sight, I must admit. I thought it was a good bit. Don't think about when I don't want to talk about the shot. The shot was a good one, but it wasn't troubling the goalkeeper. But what impressed me most about that move there, Paul, was Lewis Potter prepared to dip his shoulder and go past Trent Alexander-Arnold, who isn't a slouch, by the way. He's a very quick lad. So kudos really to Lewis Potter there for showing a bit of steel and attempting to go past Trent Alexander-Arnold. As we go into the final 90 seconds of normal time here at Anfield. 1-0 to Liverpool. The goal from Luis Diaz. Early doors in the first half is the difference between the two sides. But I have to say, Brentford have contributed so well to a very good game of football, and that's got to be applauded. Unfortunately, there's a foul on McAllister, and there could be another booking here. It's going to be the fourth of the game here from Stuart Atwell. And indeed, Jensen becomes the fourth victim of Stuart Atwell's dreaded yellow card, to the dismay of Thomas Frank.
Yeah, it's another yellow card issued. That's 4 in this first half. Jensen, the latest victim, if you will.
It was a bad challenge, to be fair, looking at the replay.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely worthy of a yellow there for sure.
And still 1-0. Here's Salah. And a bit of tugging going on there. And referee, quick on the spot. Johnny on the spot. Referee wasn't happy that the free kick wasn't stationary. It might have not been from the correct spot. Either way, it's still but I'm not sure if he was happy that the ball wasn't stationary as they tried to take that quick free kick. We are into stoppage time at the end of the first half. No indication from Anthony Taylor, our fourth official. Now we do have the indication. 2 added minutes. And I think that's about right at the end of what's been a highly competitive first half. Here's Jensen breaking forward, and Gravenberch got back and swept up the danger, or the potential danger, very well. Jensen, of course, had to pull out of that challenge because he can't make a mistake now. If he'd have made another challenge like that, I think Stuart Atwell would have had no option but to send him off. But thankfully, nothing of the sort happened. And here's Zelensky going forward, and here come Brentford right at the end of this first half, and that's going to run out of play for a throw. So obviously with about a minute to go, let's get Paul's thoughts on what's been a highly entertaining first half. Only one goal in it, but Brentford have more than played their part in what's been a terrific first half of football.
Yeah, they've played very, very well with Brentford. I think Liverpool, when they got the early goal, they really started to pull Brentford apart. But as the first half has gone on, they've become a bit lackadaisical. They've dealt with their playing with such alacrity that they feel like they're in total control. They've made 1 or 2 mistakes. I think they'll be reminded at half-time that there's only 1 goal in this. But Brentford working hard and to try to get themselves back into the game. And it's still on a knife edge. It's game on, JB.
Yeah, absolutely. The ball back with Allison now. We've got about 30 seconds before Stuart Atwell blows up for half-time. I should stress that the 2 minutes that was added by Mr. Taylor, the fourth official, was a minimum of. Liverpool wanted a free kick for a bit of a rugby tackle. The referee didn't seem interested. Here's Lewis Potter. The ball knocked back, and they might get a second opportunity, but Liverpool get it away. 5 seconds of stoppage time to go. Stuart Atwell not poised at the moment to blow the whistle. He's going to add a bit of time on at the end of stoppage time here. May allow this last attack to come in from Trent Alexander-Arnold. No, he doesn't. As soon as I say that, he puts his whistle to his mouth. But a good first half from both sides. Arnie Slot will be delighted and not so delighted about Liverpool's playing time. At times it has been quite sloppy. At others it's been lightning fast, good counter-attacking football. Brentford have had chances themselves. Lewis Potter coming in and testing Allison. But Liverpool have a slender half-time lead at Anfield at half-time here in this Premier League game here on the TCM. It's Liverpool 1, Brentford 0, and back to Russ Burnham for the half-time.
Thank you very much, JB. And Paul, just before you go, my friend, just want to bring you in for a second. Just a quick one then. 1-0 Liverpool at half-time. If I were to ask you the happier manager at the break, who would you say was B and why?
Well, Arnie Slot's probably going to be happier because he has got the 1-goal lead, of course. But I think he's going to be wanting to remind his Liverpool players that it is only 1-0 and to stay switched on. I think also Thomas Frank will be reasonably happy with the way Brentford have played in the first half. Although they are 1-0 down, they're working hard to create chances and to try to get themselves back in the game. It's on a knife edge right now.
Thank you very much. Then Paul will be back with Paul and JB very, very shortly. And we are getting some news regarding Ivan Toney. We'll give you that news very, very soon. Speaking of it, we'll just bring you the updates from the earlier kickoffs in the Premier League today, through some other scores for you. There's going to be more detail on one of the matches from this lunchtime in the Premier League as well. Start off with the Premier League then. Bournemouth 1, Newcastle United 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Chelsea 6. At half time, as you can see going across the bottom of the ticker, is Liverpool 1, Brentford 0 in our commentary game this Sunday afternoon. In the Championship then, Swansea City 1, Cardiff City 1. Swansea City led after just 10 minutes in that game through Luke Cullen, I believe. Liam Cullen, his name is. He got the opening goal for Callum Robinson, equalised on 79 minutes. And then there was 4 bookings in stoppage time. Joe Allen, Perry Ng, Harry Darling and Ruben Colwell all in the book in that game. They were the only bookings of the match, and they all came in second half stoppage time at the Swansea.com stadium. In the Premier League 2, which is the under-21s division, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Newcastle United 1 is a full-time score there. In the French Ligue 1, finished 1-2, Brest 0, Nantes 1, Auxerre 0 is the latest score, as is Nice 1, Toulouse 0, Strasbourg 2, Rennes 1, Marseille take on Reims at 7:45 this evening. In the German Bundesliga, Wolfsburg 2, Bayern Munich 3 in that game. Goals for Bayern from Jamal Musiala, an own goal from Jakub Kaminski, and there was a goal for Serge Gnabry from Arsenal man in the 82nd minute. Now, Kaminski's going on the 65th minute. That was after a penalty from Lovro Mayer and a goal set up by Patrick Wimmer, made it 2-1 to Wolfsburg, turning around the opening goal from Jamal Musiala. Serge Gnabry scored with 8 minutes to go to rescue a victory for Bayern Munich on opening day in the Bundesliga. Also in the Bundesliga, half-time score, St. Pauli 0, FC Arnhem 0 at half-time in that game today. Italian Serie A, a couple of games kicking off in about 8 minutes time right now. Fiorentina versus Venezia and Torino against Atalanta. The quarter 8 is AS Roma against Empoli and Napoli against Bologna as well. In the Dutch Eredivisie, Groningen 0, Eden Alkmaar 0, Hercules 1, Willemsvee 1, Sport Rotterdam 1, 10-man Feyenoord 1. Latest score with 39 minutes on the clock, Go Ahead Eagles 2, RKC Valvik 0, RKC Valvik down to 10 men after 2 yellow cards in the first half from Yassin Boukari, the Moroccan international, picking up 2 yellow cards in 6 minutes, 11 and 17 minutes respectively there in that game. Still playing there. Bird Eagles currently leading by 2-0. In the Scottish Premiership earlier today, St Mirren 0, Celtic 3, Aberdeen 2, Kilmarnock 0, Motherwell 3, Hearts 1. In La Liga, Real Madrid are currently leading Real Valladolid by a goal to 0. 6 minutes on the clock there. Fede Valverde with the goal on the 50th minute. Kylian Mbappe makes his home debut for Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu against Real Valladolid, and Real Madrid are currently leading by a goal to 0 thanks to Fede Valverde with the goal in that game. Leganés against Las Palmas kicks off at 6 o'clock. Alaves against Real Betis at 6:15. While Atletico Madrid take on Girona at 8:30 p.m. All times are UK based as well. In the MLS Day that returned in the early hours of the morning. Just some selected results out there. Charlotte 1, New York Red Bulls 1, DC United 3, FC Dallas 4, Inter Miami 2, FC Cincinnati 0. 2 goals in that game for former Liverpool man Luis Suarez in that game. Also in the Inter Miami lineup, well, not in the starting lineup, and he's been in and around the team. I think he was out injured for this one. Lionel Messi not involved due to an ankle injury. He missed out, so Luis Suarez stepped up to the plate in that game for Inter Miami. There, New York City 2, Chicago Fire 2, Houston Dynamo 0, Toronto FC 1, Nashville 0, Austin 2, Sporting Kansas City 3, Orlando City 0 in the MLS this early hours of this morning or last night if you tuned in from America, depending where you are in the world, either this morning or last night. Checking the time zones, see when those matches were played for you. Just a bit of news from regarding Ivan Toney, and we are here in the club, also JB Sports, Storm FM, contribute to Focus on Football as well. That we're hearing that Ivan Toney is set to leave Brentford to go to Saudi Arabia, having been left out of the Liverpool clash this evening. Brentford striker Ivan Toney is set to join Saudi Pro League Al Hilal and to be offered a huge contract by the club. The England international is left with 12 months remaining on his beast contract, so widely expected to leave the G-Tech Community Stadium. Toney, 28, was left out of the Brentford squad today against Liverpool, as you know, not in the squad to play Liverpool in this commentary game this afternoon. And sources close to Brentford have revealed that he is set to join Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. Toney had been linked with top Premier League sides such as Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, and Manchester United in recent weeks, but a concrete bid never arrived from one of those clubs. Thomas Frank had been open about the fact that Toney could depart if a suitable offer is received, and we understand that Al Hilal have made breakthrough in negotiations, having already seen a £35 million bid rejected, although we cannot say what bid has been accepted by Brentford. But Ivan Toney off to the Saudi Pro League in the coming days. So Ivan Toney set to leave the Premier League, and I think he could be a big miss for the Premier League, and not just for the Premier League, but also for Brentford. So we'll see how Brentford go to replace them. Just a bit more breaking news as well. Napoli have agreed a fee worth €30 million signing midfielder Scott McTominay from Manchester United. Once personal terms have been agreed, it will be up to McTominay to decide if he wants to go to Napoli this summer. We'll have to wait and see if that materialises for the 11 o'clock deadline on Friday. And I can tell you that at some point on Friday during the afternoon and during the evening and potentially early morning as well, we will be bringing you some late morning and beginning of the afternoon. We'll bring you some streams throughout the day, and then we'll be live from 7:40, from about 7 o'clock in the evening, bringing you live updates to the close of the transfer window in the final few hours of the deadline day. We'll bring you all the breaking news stories as they happen over on our Twitter feed as well. Head over there. Commentary Live 1 is a place to be for deadline day coverage, and also here on the Commentary Hub. We'll probably go across all our participating channels as well for our deadline day streams. We'll keep you informed regarding that one this afternoon and on our Twitter feed in the build up to Friday evening. So, big news there regarding Ivan Toney, and it could be a big miss for Brentford as they've looked to try and replace him in their team. We're just going to take a short break. When we return, we'll be back with second half coverage of Liverpool against Brentford in the company of Paul James and John Stuttard. But for now, let's take a quick break and we're back shortly. Welcome back to our coverage here on the Common Trip to JB Sports, Storm FM, focus on football, and also on my personal Twitch channel as well, Russ P. Vernon _92. If you want to tune in over there as we bring you the second half coverage shortly of Liverpool against Brentford this afternoon then. And just bring in our co-commentator of the second half, Paul James, is back with us. And Paul, just a quick chat with you just out of the second half. When you look at how the first half went, and say probably Slav probably a bit better, but Thomas Frank will be happy with how his side have performed. Then I'm going to put you in the shoes of Thomas Frank first of all. Obviously, a goal behind at the break, but Brentford have had some chances, looked to cause a few problems. If you were Thomas Frank, what would you be saying to your Brentford side going into the second half against Liverpool?
Well, I think I would be just saying to them, keep doing what you're doing. You're working hard. You're creating chances. I would say to be a bit wary of Liverpool on the break. They're very, very quick. I may, at some point, if I had a faster defender available on the bench, a faster centre-back available on the bench, or a faster full-back, I might be tempted to bring that person on, just because of the fact that there's this quick breakout by Liverpool. But I think on the whole, he's going to be relatively happy with the way they've played.
Yes, and just very quickly then, Paul, putting on the Slot's side, on the Slot's shoes, see his side go 1-0 up, and Brentford have had chances, but relatively comfortable for Liverpool in that first half. What do you reckon he'd be saying? What do you reckon he'll have said to his players during the half-time break?
Well, I think he's just going to remind them that the game's not over yet, and to continue to keep their minds on the job at hand and not to make any silly mistakes, because it is only one goal, and as one great man said, it only takes a second to score a goal. So it's they have to be careful.
They do indeed. With the players almost ready to emerge from the tunnel for the start of the second half, it's time for me to hand back over to match coaching team, Paul James. But first, John Stuttard, back over to you.
Thank you, Ross. Welcome back, everybody. Whilst you're away from us, Katarina Johnson-Thompson, who's a Liverpool fan, you may remember, got presented with a Liverpool shirt and showed off a Olympic silver medal she won in the heptathlon 2-3 weeks ago at the Paris Olympic Games. In fact, the Paralympics have just started in Paris now, so we'll see how well the British Paralympians do. Liverpool about to get us underway in the second half in the football. 1-0 up, 13th minute goal scored by Luis Diaz. And it's going to be Dominic Sawatsky, one of 4 players booked in the first half, 2 from each side. As we get underway, as Alisson kicks away long down the field. Nathan Collins wins the first header of the second half, almost on the edge of his own area, and then wins the second ball and wins his team a free kick. So the teams as they were in the first half, no need to run through them again. What I will do, I didn't give you the 2 benches. I should have given you the 2 benches in the first half. So let me give you the 2 benches. 5 can come on at any one time out of the nominated 9, 8 and 9. So we'll go through the substitutes, starting with Liverpool. Cahella, the goalkeeper, Joe Gomez, Tsimikas, Kwanzaa, Bradley, Endo, Harvey Elliott, Darwin Nunez, and Cody Kakpo. For Brentford, they've got Van Marsen, the goalkeeper, Van der Berg, Ben Mee, Sade, Carvalho, Onyenka, Yamaluk, Damsgaard, and Tebet. But both teams unchanged. Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Gravenberch, McAllister, Salah, Zawatsky, and Diaz and Jota. Brentford with Flecken in goal, Roslev, Collins, Pinnock, and Ajay. Ball back with the goalkeeper. Nothing happening at the moment. Finish the Brentford 11 off. Norgard, Janelt, and Jensen, and Renbo, Lewis Potter, and Bisa. So that's kept you up to date as we're now about a minute and a half. towards Robertson at the back post, who ghosted him from absolutely nowhere and made Mark Flecken make a good save, and he's injured himself in the process.
Yeah, that was a tremendous header, actually. Again, it was a superb save. Many would look on that and say that that's a chance. It certainly was, but I think you have to give credit to the goalkeeper there.
Absolutely. I just think at the end of the day, I just honestly think that Liverpool should have gone 2 up there. Poor defending early from Brentford. Media radio's been on. He says the Paralympics start this Wednesday. So yeah, I do apologise if I thought they started this weekend actually, but they didn't. They start Wednesday. The opening ceremony must be that Wednesday. Let's just hope the opening ceremony isn't as over the top as it was for the actual Olympics. The opening ceremony was cringeworthy to say the least. Anyway, enough about the Olympics and Paralympics. We're concentrating on Premier League football. 1-0, sorry, as the ball comes in. I'll tell you about the 2 other games earlier. I'm going to tell you that Bournemouth and Newcastle finished 1-1, and Chelsea knocked in 6 at Wolves in a 6-2 victory. So, many goals have been scored. We've seen 11 goals so far over 3 games this Sunday afternoon. 1 here, 2 at the Vitality, and 8 at Molineux. Probably one of the highest scoring games of the season so far. If we could get a good 2 or 3 goals in the second half, that would be lovely. Here's Mo Salah now, right hand side. Uses Swarovski as a good ball in there. Diaz looking to get in for his second goal. It just couldn't be found. And now a chance now for Wisa to get Mbembo away on the far side. He's got Virgil van Dijk for company though. Ajer's making a good run into the area. So too is Visa. Visa's got there. There's only Ajer in the penalty area. So maybe Mbembo might have to go alone. He goes down, not a penalty. In fair to Mbembo, he got up and didn't complain about it. And actually, that was good sporting behaviour there from Mbembo.
Yeah, nice to see that still exists, because it wasn't a penalty, and I don't think it was a dive either. And that's why he didn't complain. He got up and played on, and that's always good to see. I don't like that. I saw it the other week in the Newcastle game against Southampton. Ben Brereton throwing himself to the floor to get Fabian Schär sent off. Everything that's wrong with football.
Yeah, I saw that game, and I saw it on Match of the Day last week, and you know, I just think it's wrong in so many levels that players. I know there's money at stake and everything else, but it's early on in the season. Try and have a bit of respect for fellow professionals. I mean, they all do the same job. You know, at the end of the game, I mean, in rugby, I mean, they all go to the bar afterwards, don't they? So, I can't footballers do the same like the old days. Anyway, 5 minutes got in the second half here at Anfield. If you've just joined us, it's 1-0 to Liverpool. The goal came after 13 minutes. Luis Diaz with a goal after a great lightning attack from corner that was taken at the cop end by Brentford. Salah got it away, and then it was carried on by Jota, and then Diaz beat the goalkeeper at the near post to give Liverpool an early lead. But here's a chance for Brentford, and a deflection which could have took it into the back of the net. They've got a corner out of it, and Brentford so close here, Paul, to getting a level. I think it might have been Mbembo with the shot. He shoots and he takes a wicked deflection. It actually went a bit wider than I first saw on with the naked eye.
Yeah, I must admit, when I first looked at it, I thought it only just went wide. But it's one of them, isn't it? It can deflect either side of the post, and fortunately for Konate in this case, it went well wide.
And they have a corner. And a second opportunity to get themselves back into this game. It's very much in the game, by the way. They've taken it short. Now, what can they produce here? Ball towards Ajer, who was the nearest man. Then very ambitious volley there by Rosalev, and it's gone way, possibly to the top tier of the Anfield Road end, which Brentford are attacking in the second half, towards where their supporters are. Goal kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, it was wild, but I don't seem to have too many. I like it when players do make these efforts from outside the box, because at the end of the day, nothing good will happen unless you put the ball towards the goal.
Yeah, the old phrase, you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle. Anyway, Liverpool down the other end with Jota, edge of the area, takes on Collins. Collins charges the shot down from Jota, and it's out for a Liverpool throw in line with the Brentford 18-yard box. They take it quickly. This is Diaz to Virgil van Dijk. Again, the play just being slowed down a touch. Diaz has it again. Now Gravenberch uses Canate. Acres of space for him there to size up his options. Uses Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side. Liverpool incidentally attacking the cop end. Salah in the box. Goes down. Went down in installments, to be perfectly honest. Again, no complaints from Salah. And now he's trekking back the defender. And Liverpool get a throw-in out of it. Lewis Potter, the man, harassed there. And it's still Salah now to Alexander-Arnold. Back to Soboslai. And Alexander-Arnold should be the best outlet there. Good old deflection on the cross. No great direction, despite the deflection. And an easy one for Mark Flecken there for Brentford.
Yeah, Liverpool now started, in my opinion, in the second half, JB, they're more switched on, in my view, in the second half. They've started that way. They're not being as lackadaisical on the ball. And they've started to look very sharp at the beginning of this half. Brentford, though, still creating chances. They're still trying to get forward. And I kind of appreciate what Brentford are doing right now.
I think we both appreciate it. I think they're giving it a good go. And I think that's down to the manager and his mentality. Yes, we might not have the best squad in the world. We might be short of our best centre forward. We might lose him in the window potentially by Friday. But let's give it a go. You never know. A point at Anfield. 4 points in the first 2 games. It wouldn't be a bad start for starters. Here's Gravenberch now for Liverpool, halfway. Uses Canate. Canate intelligently into the path of Alexander-Arnold. There are 3 waiting in the centre. The ball is a poor one, though, from the right-hand side from Trent Alexander-Arnold and straight into the arms of Mark Flecken. A real opportunity there, squandered by Liverpool, Paul. They had 3 in the box, including 1 or 2, maybe possibly unmarked.
Yeah, it's a poor delivery, but when you see the cross coming in there, just way too close to the goalkeeper. But it's good to see that the players are making their way into the box. That was missing from the Arsenal game yesterday. Arsenal weren't getting the players in the box and taking that risk. The Liverpool players are doing that, and there's always a chance that something will break loose for you.
The thing, I think, if you compare this game to the Arsenal game, the Arsenal Villa game, there wasn't much happening for the first sort of half an hour or so in the Villa game. I know you saw it, but from my observations, it was a very poor match up until about the 35th minute. But since minute 1, there's always been something happening in this game, and something's just happened here because Brentford have just got themselves a corner.
With 10 minutes, it's been a great game so far. This
should have more than the 1 goal to show for it, I believe. Brentford may well get it. They can get this goal now. It will make things a hell of a lot interesting. That is for certain. Now then, Mbembo. He's gone short here. And now the cross in from Jensen. It's a D1. It's a good one. It's a good header from Collins. And it's beaten out by Alisson. Still the danger not away for Liverpool. Liverpool there found wanting from a set play. And it should have. And Mbembo now. He goes down, no penalty, and Mbembo does ask the question. Obviously, they'll check it on the VAR, but Alisson with a fantastic reaction save to deny Nathan Collins of all people.
Yeah, it was a super save because he has to go from the rebound to punch it out as well. Great piece of goalkeeping, but what a chance for Brentford. That's their second really good chance of this game.
And it was a bit of a... Well, I have to say, Alisson actually made a bit of a meal of that because he palmed it up in the air and then he sort of half-fisted it away second time of asking, got away with it. And so did Liverpool. Collins, I think if there was any criticism of the header, it was straight at him, straight at the goalkeeper. Either side, though, and you would have to say, without a shadow of a doubt, that's 1-1. Alisson's kick, straight down the ball, straight down the middle of the park, very flat along the deck. And now Jensen gets the ball back. But Brentford, you can't accuse them of not having a goal today. They've really come here. Anfield, difficult place to go to if you're on the away side traditionally. down the years, away teams have just shut up or tried to shut up shop and just let Liverpool run loose at them. And not a sign of that from Brentford as yet. Here's Jota, picks the ball up. Grabbing back now for Liverpool. Arnie Slot, plenty to ponder with a fork down below us on the touchline. 56 minutes gone, 11 minutes of the nearly 7 minutes of the second half play. Salah to Alexander-Arnold. Can he give any play? Ball box back in the most of 6-yard area. Salah then comes in, follows up, shoots, hits it. Collins. That's another good block. The whistle's gone. A free kick has been given to Brentford. I think Salah may have committed a little bit of a misdemeanor, possibly in the penalty area, but good running again from Liverpool. Great defending there. First of all by Pinnock, and then Collins to deny Salah. And then the referee must have blown up for something in the melee. Amongst all that melee, free kick to Brentford, but great defending there, first from Pinnock and then by Nathan Collins.
Yes, again, Brentford, they're doing the little things right. They're getting themselves into the shooting lanes, getting themselves into the passing lanes. They're defending very, very well. And Liverpool too, it's worth mentioning that Liverpool, they've got the forwards going towards goal. If you go towards goal, good things happen. And what I'm seeing there is that they are taking those risks forward to try to get the loose balls in the penalty area, you know, picking up the junk and seeing if they can grab 1 or 2 goals that way.
Absolutely. The free kick from Flecking came to nothing. It went straight to Alisson. And then there was a throw-in given. And now Liverpool have possession. And this is Salah. Good ball. Now then. Zaboski now. Salah in a bit of space in the centre of the field. McAllister, the former Brighton player. On to Robertson. Now to Diaz, the goal scorer. And here's Salah, edge of the penalty area, just to the left, to the right of the left of the D. The ball chipped in. Alexander-Arnold scouted in, and that should have been a second goal for Jota and for Liverpool, but it's been knocked over the top from about 6 yards out. In fairness to Jota, I think it would be very hard to be hypercritical of the finish because it did come into him at a rapid rate. In fact, it was a great deflection away by Nathan Collins in amongst all that.
Yeah, I happened to... I saw it coming, yeah. I think it's a deflection, really. I think otherwise that ball is going into the net. It's great. I think we have to give credit to Nathan Collins here. What a superb piece of defending, especially when I've just looked at it at that angle. You can actually see it. What a superb piece of defending that actually was.
It was a great bit of defending. Meanwhile, whilst Paul was talking, the corner came in. Van Dijk won the header, but it was a very tame header, and it was an easy one for Mark Flecken to take. Anyway, Brentford very much in this game, but they're under the cosh a little bit this last 4 or 5 minutes. Here's Diaz again. Good skills, goes from past 2 or 3, then almost trod on the ball, but he found McAllister. Here is McAllister. Back now to Virgil van Dijk. It's been an amazing match so far. It's been good to watch. And I have to tell you that for the first hour at this game, it's not been stop-start. It's everything that you'd want from a football game. It's a commentator's dream. This is Salah into the penalty area. Plays a 1-2 with Alexander-Arnold, then plays another 1-2. Now the ball played in. McAllister. Salah going to go around the back, but again, great Brentford defending there. That time, I think it was, let me just see who it was. But it was a lovely 1-2 there. Salah worked it well. And then McAllister with a lovely little ball. And in fact, I can't even tell you who it was. The number was absolutely disguised. It was actually Janelt who got back and got that away.
That's a training ground manoeuvre if I've ever seen one. Look at that. The ball being knocked around between McAllister and Jota there. Flicking the ball back and forward, and then Salah making the run to try to pick up the ball there on the edge of the 6-yard box. But great work by Janelt, getting his foot in the way of that. But that's a training ground manoeuvre if I've ever seen.
Oh, and it's up the post from the corner. Sorry, Paul. The ball came flying in there from the corner from Trent Alexander-Arnold. They're still not away yet. And the header comes in from Canate, straight in the arms of Flecken. I have to tell you, I'm sorry about interrupting you, Paul, but every 2, 3, 4 seconds, there's always something happening. Trent Alexander-Arnold almost scored from the corner.
Yes, I think Collins might have got his head on that. Finally, that might have been an own goal in the end, but it hits the post square on, and I think Brentford deserve that bit of luck.
They do. They have played their part in a really good football game today. It's something you want to go and see week in, week out. You want to see that. You know, we've only had the one goal, which is the only disappointment, but we've been widely entertained. And there's two neutrals, Paul and myself. I don't think you could get much entertainment than this, and that's what football should be about. We've seen 22 highly skilled entertainers out on the field this afternoon, and just the general play has been worth the admission money on its own. Here's Alisson with a right-footed little chip forward, and he's found Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's just drifted centrally now, and he's got Jota out on the left-hand side. This is Diego Jota. Chips it in towards Salah, away by Pinnock. Pinnock will get it out towards the Liverpool right-hand side as I look. Gravenberch looks to try and get something moving. Zaberski looking just to try and run this down. Liverpool just slowing the pace down a little bit. With them in possession, they're entitled to do what they want with the ball. They want to quicken it, slow it down. They can do what the heck they want. And got the power. Liverpool looking for this killer second goal, perhaps, that could put this game away from Brentford. Salah went down. He tripped over himself. Never going to be a penalty in a month for Sundays. Chip back towards Robertson. Inside the area. Collins did well. Ball knocked away there by Rozolev. Now it's Diaz. It's coming back at Brentford again. Diaz, the goal scorer after 13 minutes. The goal which separates the two teams at the moment here at Anfield. What a game. We had a good game at Brentford at Bournemouth. 1-1 they finished with Newcastle, and a cracker at Wolves. Where it finished Wolves 2, Chelsea 6. They've come back from a very bad defeat at Manchester City last week, and they've come back with 6 goals. As Salah now does well, gets it back into the danger zone. It's showing Diaz. No, it's saved, I think, by Flecken. It's gone wide in any case. I think Flecken might have tipped that wide for a corner, you know. And Liverpool here are failing to take their chances, and the more they fail to take their chances, maybe Brentford might still get a chance.
Oh, that's a superb save as well. I think it's Diaz that strikes a shot, and Flecken gets down to his left-hand side with a wonderful save. But, I mean, this is, again, this game, JB, is a brilliant advertisement for the Premier League.
It is. It is, without a shadow of a doubt. It's been an absolute thriller minute. One goal, admittedly, only in this game. Could have had so much more in terms of goals, but the all-round play and entertainment's been superb. Flat corner from Alexander-Arnold. Shot comes in and it's deflected away. Now Mbembo to break. Mbembo now. It's 3 against 3 for a second. Now Liverpool have got 4, 5, 6 back. And only a Jair in support for Mbembo, who couldn't find him. And the best thing he could have had there out of that was a throw-in. And he's taking the throw-in well. Jensen's cross. Oh, he just a little bit too much whip on that. And in the end, the attack breaks down. Lewis Potter did his absolute best to try and keep it in play down the near side. But once again, Liverpool's has stepped into the Brentford counter-attack. We're going to see a double substitution, ladies and gents. And I'll just stay on, and then as soon as we've done that substitution, we'll get Paul James' view on that counter-attack. Lewis Potter, I think, is one of the players withdrawn. Indeed, he is. So it looks as if Thomas Frank's going to just freshen it up a little bit of fresh legs, I think. I think it was needed, because Brentford, up until that last attack, was Lewis Potter and Jensen that have come off. Damsgaard and Carvalho, I think, have come on. Well, Paul, what about that the last couple of minutes?
Incredible. It's breathtaking stuff. And it's a great game for you to come back and commentate on, because it's just been end-to-end, and it's a big moment for Carvalho now coming on against his former team. But I can understand why he's taken Keane Lewis Potter off. He's run himself into the ground today.
Yeah, here we go again. It is a chance now for Diego Jota. Good block again from Nathan Collins. My goodness, he's put his body on the line and subbed today. And here goes Jota again. Great challenge again by Rozolev. The Brentford last-ditch defending has been absolute world-class. That is, well, I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, Paul, but there's always a chance. So there's always something happening every 4, 5, 6 seconds. And here come, I'll bring you in a second once this attack has finally died down, or a goal's been scored, or whatever may well happen. Now Liverpool is just slowing it down a touch. Oh my goodness me. It's just been end to end. It's been almost. It's not been like a. You know what? It's a Premier League game in a lot of ways, and in fact, the actual playing of the game, it's been like an FA Cup tie. Been played like one end of the field to the other, and the ball now back towards Alisson. We'll bring you in now, Paul. My goodness me, what a block from Nathan Collins.
Yeah, don't apologise for interrupting me. I mean, the viewers need to hear what's going on because it's a fantastic game. But yes, what a fantastic challenge by Nathan Collins. He's been absolutely brilliant today for Brentford.
You may be required again. There's the shot from Salah just to the right of the penalty area. It was a tame effort and well repelled there by goalkeeper Flecken. So 67 minutes have been played. So we've got about 23 to go. So we're almost halfway through the second half then. As I said, 67 minutes have been played. Liverpool 1, Brentford 0. What a match though. Brentford have played their part. Despite the fact they haven't scored, they've come close on a couple of occasions. Lewis Potter with a great chance at the end of the first half. Nathan Collins with a bullet header which was well repelled by Alisson, although he, in fairness to him, made a bit of a meal of the save. Here they come again. They're not proposed in this lot. Ruslev now, and Mbembo. Ruslev continues to run, tries to flick it past Virgil van Dijk. Not an easy thing to do because Van Dijk is one of the meanest defenders in the game. And Mbembo has it again on this Brentford right-hand side. Again, the patience again. It's been brilliant from Brentford. They've really they've contributed so much. Can they get themselves an equaliser? And if they do get that equaliser, I don't think anyone would quarrel with that because they've really played their part. Here they come again, looking for this equalising goal. They deserve something from this game. They've really played terrifically. And here's Mbembo, he goes down. Surely that's going to be a penalty. It looked a clear push. The referee. Now what's the referee doing here? He hasn't pointed to anything now. Now what's he doing? Now then, it might have been offside. In fact. And I think that's what referee Atwell is trying. Well,
the official's flag went up. I think that was offside, but they'll look at it in VAR, I would suspect.
Well, I'm not sure that's offside. I don't think the linesman's had his Weetabix. I don't think that's offside. Mind you, I'm not sure that's a penalty either, to be fair.
Yeah, it looks like Robertson's playing him on there, but maybe, you know how these offsides are, JB. Might just be his leg that's playing him offside. But he's got his hand on his shoulder. I think he goes down very easily. But we've seen them given, haven't we? But I don't think this one's going to be given.
I don't think even if it'd been now remember, might get away a second time though. The first touch got him down. But we have. But that was touch and go. I must admit, if we've got those semi-automated offsides, we would clear up a lot of debates. Flecken does well there with Salah breathing down his neck. But it's been very quiet on the VAR front. I don't want to jinx it by saying that, but it has been so far. But the game has been such a good game. It's a good watch. Now then, Salah, is he onside this time? He tucks it away past the goalkeeper. They will check for offside, but as things stand, Mo Salah gets his second goal of the season. Liverpool go for their own anyway, 2 goals clear. They will check it on the VAR. Salah got past his man, broke the offside trap. So he thinks, and then whipped it over Flecken, and it's 2-0 to Liverpool. And you have to say, you've got to have a lot of sympathy and you've got to have a lot of sympathy for Brentford because that is a cruel scoreline. Let's just check the offside. Oh, Paul, is he offside? Is he offside, I wonder? I'm not so sure. We've lost Paul James for the moment anyway. But while I'm talking to you, I think VAR might have a vested interest in this.
Well, I think Nathan Collins might be playing him onside. But we'll see. I'm just looking at it again now. And to me, Nathan Collins may be playing him on. Or maybe not Nathan Collins, the guy on the far side, Roycelev.
Maybe, possibly. I'm looking at the last defender, you see, and I'm not convinced that's onside. You know, I mean, it's a great finish. Don't get me wrong, but if I tell you what, for the way Brentford are, I think the goal is going to be Are they checking? I don't think they're going to check it. I think they are going to check it. No, they're not. I think the goal's been given. Yeah, the goal's been given. It's been confirmed. 2-0. They're going to make substitutions now. Jota's coming off. And the first goal scorer, Luis Diaz, is going to come off as well. So Salah gets his second goal of the season. He scored one at Ipswich. He scored the second one at Ipswich after 65 minutes. He scored one after 70 minutes here today. Darwin Núñez has come on as one of the substitutes, the Uruguayan. And the other one, I think, is Ryan Gravenbach. It was it's Trent Alexander-Arnold actually, and he's going to be replaced there. Yeah, he's had a decent game, but he has been whipped a couple of. Again, he's been found wanting again. In fact, it's a triple substitution. So Diaz, Jota, and Arnold off. Gakpo. Who was the other substitutes as well as Diaz?
It looks like it's Conor Bradley coming on. So I've got Conor Bradley, Darwin Núñez and Gakpo on, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota off.
Yeah, thank God I have a co-commentator with me who can clear all this up. And also Janat has come off for Brentford as the substitutions continue in earnest, and we're going to see Oneka going on, and I think we've got another. I think back it's a double substitution. It looks like Visa is off. He's deserved a bit more than what he's had so far. So it looks as if 4 out of 5 have been used now by Brentford. We'll get them confirmed. Now it's Shard and Oneka on for Risa and Janot respectively. So fresh legs for everybody now as we reconvene. Brentford 2-0 in the red at the moment against the Reds. And it's a cruel scoreline, Paul, when you look at the analysis of the game, and it means that that chance for Nathan Collins could now be so valuable now. As Liverpool look to kill the game off once and for all with Mo Salah, who got the second goal. There will be question marks, probably from Thomas Rank, whether that was offside or not. But the goal stands. Rightly or wrongly, VAR did check it, and they were quite happy that Salah has stayed onside. As Darwin Núñez now it's a grey sky above Anfield. It's actually quite a mild day to say. We're still in towards late summer now here in England, and the weather's so British it's unbelievable. Anyway, here's Salah around the corner. That's going to go for Plecken. But when you look at the final analysis, I think 2-0 to Liverpool is a bit harsh on Brentford when you look at it. And you look at it logically. Yeah,
it's a flattering scoreline, but I mean they took the chances. Did Salah, and I really do think it was kind of Royce playing him on side, and that's probably what they were looking at. But to me, Brentford have played so well. This is the way football is. It's a very cruel sport. And sometimes you can work hard, you can really do your best, like what Brentford had done here today. I really made a game out of it for the neutrals, and you can just come off second best. And sometimes for Brentford, they'll just have to dust themselves off and look at their next game, which of course after Colchester United in the League Cup is Southampton at home, which is a very winnable game.
Yeah, and they're at home as well. They did really well against Crystal Palace last week, as you saw, and. Southampton will be a tough game, but it's, as you say, a very winnable one. But with the Ivan Toney situation, it's not a good look really at them. But I have to say that I've been impressed with their counter-attacking play. But mind you, Liverpool's counter-attack has been just as lightning fast. And this is what's contributed to a terrific game of football. And we've got, I'll make that now, 12 goals, I think, today alone for 3 games. We had 8 at Wolves. We had another 2 at Bournemouth. We've had another 2 here. So 11 goals scored. Well, we're going to see a 12th. No, it's Visa's ball after Núñez had flicked on. And Liverpool still lead with 2-0. We've played 76 minutes, 14 to play. Liverpool in control now. 2 goals in the clear.
Yeah, they're looking pretty sharp. I think for me, they've controlled most of the game. What Brentford have done is they've made it very difficult for them. They've worked very hard. They've closed the passing lanes. They've closed the shooting lanes. And they can feel aggrieved. They can come away from Anfield with their heads held high. They've done very, very well today.
Yes, this game isn't going to define their season by any means, but Thomas Frank will feel that they've been worthy of at least a point out of this game, and I would be probably tempted to agree with him on that score, personally, as a neutral watching this game. But 2-0 to Liverpool, and Arne Slot will continue his unbeaten record. It will stretch if Liverpool don't, barring accidents now, if Liverpool don't mess up and concede 3, he's going to be unbeaten in 28 matches competitively as a manager. So that's a good little statistic for you Anorex out there, as Bradley comes forward now down the right for Liverpool, plays it to Mo Salah. Good to see young Bradley involved in the action. Another product of the academy here at Liverpool. Ball knocks in there towards the back post, and Gakpo can't be found. Sabarski's cross, goal kick to Brentford. So just to mark your card, I'll be around again on the week, midweek. I will be doing sporadic commentaries during the season now and then. As the older I get, the more I'll slow down. But I'm into my 8th season as a YouTube commentator. But I'm with you for 2 more matches, 2 more commentary games in midweek, both from the League Cup. On Tuesday night, we've got a very good game between League One Birmingham City and Fulham. Kick off for that one at 8 o'clock, incidentally, for that one on all the TCM platforms. And then on the Wednesday night, we've got an old Premier League game between Nottingham Forest and Eddie Howe's Newcastle United. And again, same time, same places, 8 o'clock with me and Russ presented. So 2 games, and not only that, Russ will have the transfer deadline show on Friday night as well for you as we will tick down. I just hope he finds a yellow T-shirt or something to wear on that day. And never forget previous transfer deadline shows, Paul.
Oh yeah.
I think you know which one I'm referring to, don't you?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've had, yeah. I mean, I think I'll be making an appearance on that transfer deadline day on Friday. I'm not sure if I'll be there for the full show, but I'll be making an appearance.
Well, thankfully, Graham Potter isn't going to be involved this year, so there's no. Oh, is it Harry Potter?
Yeah, thank God. I'm sort of glad that he's kind of done something else now with his time. Maybe he's gone to managing Europe or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we got about 12 minutes to play, and Liverpool in complete control of this game, looking absolutely sharp on the button. Arne Slot is absolutely got his team firing on all cylinders after a good spell from Brentford. They've really looked really good today. Brentford, I have to say, they've controlled the game. They've been very, very good. They've been very unlucky in a lot of respects to probably come away with nothing. We're now coming into the final 10 minutes plus any time for stoppages, but it's been a very, very, very good game of football. I've been absolutely delighted to bring it to you live on TCM. Nice to be back in the commentary box. And I'll be with you for the 2 League Cup games in midweek and maybe a bit more next weekend, possibly. Watch this space. Here come Gakpo. Oh, he's hit the bar from 25 yards out, just to the left of the penalty area. He hit that very well, the Dutchman. And that should have been 3-0, really, to Liverpool. It was a lovely bit of play. Gakpo showed the defender a clean pair of heels, hit it there, got a deflection, in fact, and then bounced, pinged off the crossbar.
Yeah, he just clipped the top of the crossbar. The deflection kind of probably took it away from the goal, because had it have been on target, that might have gone in. But you see the deflection there again from poor Nathan Collins, who's been through hell and high water in this game. I almost feel like awarding him the player of the match out of sympathy.
And here comes the corner. He's just gone over the top. Carry on, Paul.
Yeah, and it just clipping the crossbar, and very close again for Liverpool.
I think he's played well today, Nathan Collins. From a Brentford viewpoint, I think he's done really well. We're going to see Harvey Elliott in a minute. And just to remind you that the player of the match, of course, is in association with Barry Swain's Commentary Services, sponsoring us again for sponsoring our player of the match award for the 4th year in succession. Good to have Barry's support as ever every season that we've been on air. Meanwhile, here on this game today, it's 2-0 to Liverpool. It could have been so different if Nathan Collins, 10 minutes in the second half, had that header gone either side of Alisson. Could have been an all different ball game. Mark Flecken played really well today himself. Doesn't really deserve to have two put past him. Just to remind you of all the other scores in the Championship, we had sensational happenings in the South Wales game between Swansea and Cardiff in the Championship. Cardiff's manager was sent off in that game in stoppage time. It finished 1-1, incidentally. Swansea took the lead in the 10th minute, and Cardiff equalised 10 minutes from the end of normal time. And then we had that 13 stoppage time went to 13 minutes. But the spoils were there. But ball was just messaged there. So 1-1 is the score. Please keep your comments clean, incidentally, guys. We're going to see a substitution. Harvey Elliott is going to have at least 8 or 9 minutes. Mo Salah is the man coming off. He's getting a tremendous ovation from the Liverpool faithful. And they'll be happy. They'll be happy on the red side of Merseyside, considering that Everton have lost both their games very heavily. Remember, they lost 3-0 to Brighton a week ago at Goodison, and then lost 4-0 at Tottenham yesterday. So, across the blue half of Merseyside, things are not so good. But on the red half of Merseyside, things are really looking at 6 points out of a possible 6. And of course, the other Philip and Manchester United being beaten as well. It can't be that bad, of course. But Arsenal and Manchester City have also picked up maximum points as well. And everyone's saying that it's going to be a 2-horse race. I'd like to think it would be something similar as we see the caretaker England manager Lee Carsley in the crowd today, and he'll be impressed with some of the performances. That is for sure from some of the England lads. As Liverpool now have to defend a long throw-in taken by Shade, the substitute. It didn't come to much, unfortunately. Now the ball over the top. Now Darwin Núñez with the chase. The ball knocked back now by Rosler to Flecken, and the ball out of play for a throw. And the multi-ball system working to a terrific effect. Here's Harvey Elliott towards the near post. Oh, and that should have been 3, I think. I actually think Darwin Núñez might have just strayed in an offside position, but it should have been 3. It was a lovely little cross there from from Harvey Elliott. And in the end, yes, he was offside there, Paul, but may have just spared his squashes somewhat.
Yeah, he'll be glad to see that offside flag, I think, because that really should have been 3 if he was onside. It was for somebody like Darwin Núñez, who scores a lot with his head. That should have been meat and drink for him.
It should have done, but it wasn't, and it's still it's 2-0. As one or two supporters now leave to try and get away from the traffic out of Liverpool tonight. Traffic's going to be murder across Stanley Park later on, I would have thought. As Virgil van Dijk, the Liverpool captain, crossed the play 1-2, which nearly didn't come off, but Liverpool still have possession. Capwell can't get there on the far side, and it's out of play. So a tremendous performance by Liverpool today, but a tremendous performance, battling performance from Brentford, who deserve a lot better than a 2-0 scoreline. Here's Harvey Elliott now for Liverpool. Another product of the famed academy, which Jurgen Klopp invested so much in there. Match stats. Brentford actually, in fairness, Liverpool have 14 shots this second half compared to 5, 6 of which have been on target. And possession, they've been a lot better than Brentford have been. They're 57. Liverpool had 56% in the first half. They've had 10% more in the second half, 66%. 86 minutes gone, 4 to play of normal time. Everyone tuning on, if you have missed this game, you've missed an absolute treat today, because Brentford, let's be fair, people tuning in seeing 2-0 on the screen, will think that it's been a routine Liverpool victory. It has been anything but this today. Brentford have had chances and have played some terrific football, but didn't take their chances. Liverpool certainly took theirs, but they're going to keep going. Here's Brian in Wembo. And can he produce some magic here? Tries to get the cross in, looking for Carvalho in the centre, looking to get one back against his old club. And it's been that sort of a day, really, but whichever thing just hasn't gone Brentford's way. As Liverpool look now to try and get a third, which would put the deal on this. Here's RB Elliott, right hand side, inside the area. Goes back now to grab back shoes. Anchored the midfield well, along with McAllister superbly. And we've got about 3 minutes to go. We'll ask Paul to get his confirmation for player of the match around about the 89th minute. It's just at the moment, it's a leisurely pace that Liverpool are playing their game at the moment, passing the ball around nicely and at a very leisurely pace, trying to pick Brentford apart and pull them apart. Here's Gakpo, McAllister now. What a chance for the Argentinian cross-back, well defended again by Collins. Gakpo has got away from his man. Can Gakpo finish the job off with a flourish? Oh, and headed away by Pinnock. It was a venomous little cross. Here's Elliott to Bradley. Bradley now just again Liverpool just slowing things down a touch as we're now heading to the closing stages here. And
yeah, they look very solid there at the moment, the Liverpool, don't they? Just play game management right now.
Yeah, well, can they? Yeah, they're going to. Brentford look a team now to finally run out of ideas. If Liverpool can get that third goal, it's a nice on the cherry on the cake job for them. But for Brentford, it will be very much. I mean, 2-0 is. I think they've been entitled to feel hard done by 2-0, but when you look at it, there is a golfing clash between the two sides. You look at what Brentford can put out and what Liverpool can put out. They've got stronger benches, obviously, Liverpool, than what Brentford have got, and that's always the case in a lot of ways, because it's it is a tough one. But Brentford, will be picking up points, and their home form will be critical for that. Is Elliott now just again slowing the pace down a little bit. No need to panic now. They're 2 goals in the clear, and it's just a leisurely pace they're playing at the moment. We'll get Paul's man of the match vote in a second or two. And in fact, Liverpool are playing the game so patiently and so leisurely. I think we can get Paul's player of the match sponsored, of course, by Barry Swain's commentary services.
Well, it'll be a bit of a surprise. You normally give it to the winning side, a player on the winning side, but I'm giving it to a player on the losing side, and I'm giving it to Nathan Collins. He's put his body through hell and high water today to try to keep the score down. He's made amazing challenges, headers, deflections. He has done a fantastic job all afternoon today for Brentford, and for me, he deserves the player of the match. So today's player of the match, as sponsored by commentary services, goes to Brentford's number 22, Nathan Collins.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad choice at all. Yes, he's put his body on the line many times. Free kick has been given to Brentford, foul, I think, by Alexi McAllister. We're going to see Endo come on now for the last knock-ins. We're going to have 5 added minutes into that at the end of the game. But yeah, I agree with Nathan Collins. He has put his body on the line. He's done very well. And that wasn't a Burnley biased decision, by the way. He has genuinely played well. That's not because there's 2 Burnley fans commentating on the game, by the way. But honestly, seriously, he's played really well. Doesn't deserve to be on the losing side today, Nathan Collins. And I think on occasions like this, you can allow a man in a match to be on a losing side. It has happened before, and will happen again in the future. But Liverpool have got the 2 goals that have mattered. Both well taken. The first one from Diaz, especially, I thought that was a cracking goal. One of the best goals, in my humble opinion, of the weekend. Here's Alisson with a kick. And that's going to run out of play for a Brentford throw-in just shy of halfway. Still inside the Brentford half, by the way. Just to remind you that we're live on Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, I will be. I'll be doing 2 commentaries on the League Cup for you. Bust up with an 8 o'clock kickoff. We'll have Birmingham City of League One against Fulham of the Premier League from St Andrews. That's at 8 o'clock. And again at the same time on Wednesday, we have an all Premier League tie from the City Ground. Nottingham Forest take on Newcastle United. Nottingham Forest, having won this competition 4 times under the late great Brian Clough, take on Eddie Howe's very strong Newcastle side for a place in the 3rd row. You'll be able to hear commentary from both games from myself at all TCM platforms during the week. Don't forget, we've got the transfer deadline show on Friday night as well. Many people will be contributing to that one with Russ Byrne. Russ will be your host for that one. We're 2 minutes into 5 added. Brentford have possession deep inside the Liverpool territory with Sade. And he turns into trouble. There's 2 Liverpool defenders converging on him. Sade still again. Ball out of play. Goal kick to Liverpool. Well, Paul, we've come almost to the end of this game. We've only got about 2 minutes and a quarter to go of the 5 that was added. I should stress it's a minimum of. What's been your overriding thoughts overall of the game today? I think Luis Diaz has been given the television player of the match. You can understand why with the statistics, but looking at the game as a whole, what's been your final thoughts on this game?
Well, I think Liverpool have controlled the game for the most part, which is what you expect at Anfield. I think they've created chances and they've made it very difficult for Brentford. But Brentford have worked so hard. It's old-fashioned football from them. Counter-attack, working hard, closing down the passing lanes, closing down the shooting lanes defensively. They've just been brilliant, and they've ventured forward to create chances, which a lot of teams don't do at Anfield. And it's been a great game and a pleasure to commentate on from beginning to end.
Yeah, and I think I'll echo that as well. Nice game to come back for. There's going to be a yellow card for Brian Embo, purely out of frustration than anything else. I think the referee's been quite anonymous in this second half, to be totally honest with you. Stuart Atwell's actually controlled the game pretty well. Never thought I'd hear myself say that about him. But, the first time for everything. And Bambo becomes the 5th player out of the 22 that are booked. Third Brentford player in the book now, as we now go into the final minute of the 5. Just stress it's a minimum of. But I don't think there'll be time after the 5 minutes for anything else. There's no doubt it's going to end definitely 2-0 here, unless Brentford score in the last sort of 30 seconds or more. But Liverpool have possession, but very comfortable in possession. But Brentford will come away, even despite the fact that they haven't scored, or they're not going to come away with any points. They're going to come away with an awful lot of credit. And for Nathan Colley, a nice little personal triumph for him. Goal kick, no foul there by Endo. As we're now going to the final 10 seconds. The Liverpool fans now filing out. They know the game's home and hose. They're now trying to beat the traffic now. And it's the highest league attendance since April the 14th. 60,107 is today's attendance. Plus a few Brentford fans in the bottom tier of the Anfield Road end, as Alisson will take the goal kick. Surely that will be the last kick of the match. And surely then after that, Stuart Atwell will blow for full time. And Liverpool take the spoils. But Brentford played their part in a terrific game. Goals either side of half time. Firstly from Luis Diaz after a lightning fast Liverpool attack, which involves Salah. Carried on by Diego Jota, who will claim the assist for that first goal. And well taken by Diaz. And then Salah himself making it 2-0 after spinning away, breaking that Brentford offside trap from the right-hand to the right-hand side of the D. Finding across Mark Flecken into the left-hand corner. And Salah with a new haircut, but still the same old deadly, accurate shooter he's always been famed for. The Egyptian king on the score sheet, Luis Diaz on the score sheet. Brentford made a good fist of it. Wasn't a routine victory for Liverpool, but 6 points out of 6. They keep their 100% record. As for Brentford, they lose theirs, but they come away not disgraced and come away with a lot of plaudits. No points, no goals, but a lot of plaudits and plenty to think about before they play Southampton next Saturday. The final score then at Anfield, in a terrific game, a great advert, as Paul James said, for the Premier League. It's finished Liverpool 2, Brentford 0. Russ Burnett.
Thank you very much, John Stuttard, and want to return to the commentary airwaves for John Stuttard, also known as JB, on our channels as well. And I just want to read a comment out here from our good friends over at Media Radio Jingles and Gaming, who says, well, it has been a joy to listen to the commentary today. John and Paul, brilliant game to start your commentary duties again, John, or JB. And nice to hear Paul James, who did a phenomenal job last night commentating on the Aston Villa versus Arsenal game. And Lazy B says, well done, JB, and thanks to me. If those who are listening over on Twitch TV right now, or on YouTube, if you want to head over to twitch.tv /DJ Lazy B at 10 o'clock tonight, you can hear the radio show with LB and you can get your requests in. 3 hours of love songs. The Chill Hour Zone with DJ Lazy B, 10 till 1 o'clock this Sunday evening. For your listening pleasure, I'll be over there tuning in as well. And Mike Orman, our good friend here in the commentary, will also be there as well. And make sure, if you do like your music, go and listen to DJ Lazy B. Tune in via twitch.tv /DJ LAZYB. Right then, back to the football, and let's bring you up to date with the Premier League results from today, and then I'll recap all of the day's weekend's Premier League results at the end as well. Bournemouth 1, Newcastle United 1. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Chelsea 6. Liverpool 2, Brentford 0. EFL Championship. Swansea City 1, Cardiff City 1. Premier League 2, under 21s. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Newcastle United 1. French Ligue 1. Lyon 2, Brest 0. Nantes 2, Auxerre 0. Nice 1, Toulouse 1. Strasbourg 3, Rennes 1. Marseille against Reims, evening kick-off at 7:45. German Bundesliga. Wolfsburg 2, FC Bayern München 3. St. Pauli 0, Heidenheim 2. Italian Serie A. Half times. Fiorentina 0, Venezia 0. Torino 1, Atalanta 1. AS Roma versus Empoli, evening kick-off 7:45. Napoli v Bologna, evening kick-off at 7:45. Scottish Premiership. St Mirren 0, Celtic 3. Aberdeen 2, Kilmarnock 0. Motherwell 3, Hearts 1. Dutch Eredivisie. Groningen 0, AZ Alkmaar 0. Hercules 1, Willemsveer 1. Sparta Rotterdam 1, Feyenoord 1. Golden Eagles 2, KRC Valvik 0. Spanish La Liga. Real Madrid 3, Real Valladolid 0. Latest scores: Leganés 0, Las Palmas 0. Alaves 0, Real Betis 0. Atletico Madrid v Girona, evening kick-off at 8:30. The United States Major League Soccer. CF Montreal 0, New England Revolution 5, Charlotte FC 1, New York Red Bulls 1. DC United 3, FC Dallas 4. Inter Miami 2, FC Cincinnati 0. New York City 2, Chicago Fire 2. Houston Dynamo 0, Toronto FC 1. Nashville CS 0, Austin FC 2. Sporting Kansas City 3, Orlando City 0. Real Salt Lake 0, San Jose Earthquakes 2. LA Galaxy 2, Atlanta United 0. Portland Timbers 4, St. Louis City 4. In the women's club friendlies this evening, the evening kick-off at 9 o'clock, as in the women's friendlies, as Chelsea take on Arsenal. Check out our commentary Live 1 on Twitter, or now known as X. I'll keep you up to date with the results over there later on this evening at about 11 o'clock. AS Roma women are currently beating Athletic Club 2-1 after 75 minutes in a friendly. Dijon beat Freiburg 3-2, and PSV Eindhoven women beat Paris FC women, lost to Paris FC women, should I say, by 2-1 in friendlies there. So that's all we have got kind of on the results. So I think we'll recap the full classified Premier League check of the weekend results in a few moments. But first of all, let me fetch in the co-commentator, Paul James. And Paul, a fantastic game and a great game for JB to return to on commentary as well. Just looking at the game overall then, would you say Liverpool, I know all three of us probably think, well, you and JB said it wasn't a routine victory for Liverpool, but did you think that was a fair result in the end, or do you think that Brentford deserved to get something out of the game?
Well, Liverpool controlled the game. I think if Liverpool were to win by 1 goal, I would say, yeah, probably a fair result. But I think Brentford deserved more out of it, just given the fact that they worked so hard, they played so well. It was nice to see a team come to Anfield and try to get something from the game rather than parking the bus on the 18-yard line. So in that respect, I felt Brentford were very hard done to.
Yes, when you look at them from Arne Slot's point of view, a winning start to life in management at Anfield, 2 out of 2 wins for Liverpool in the Premier League after beating Ipswich by 2-0, 4 goals scored, none conceded. It's a perfect start, really, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he's going to be very happy with that. It's definitely the start that he would have wanted for his managerial career. No blips, nothing to be criticised for. It's definitely something, because everybody's waiting to make that comparison with Jurgen Klopp. So to get this kind of start, it relieves the pressure a little bit.
Absolutely. Just touching on Brentford now, Paul. Thomas Frank would have probably been, you said he would have been happy with all the chances they created in that first half. Just going to put them in the back of the net. Same story in the second half. They had chances, just couldn't put them back of the net. Do you think he'd be encouraged by the performance from what he's seen from his Brentford side today and just need a bit more work in the final third?
Yeah, I think he's going to definitely be wanting a striker. But I actually think he's going to be relatively happy with the performance today. It was a hard-working performance by his team. They really put in the effort. They put in the commitment. Nathan Collins showed that today, and I think he'll be very encouraged with the performance as a whole.
Yes, just one final one then, Paul. As we mentioned on commentary, Brentford in League Cup action in midweek. They take on Colchester away. Do you think Thomas Frank should be focused on that now, or do you think his focus will probably be turning to potentially getting some incoming players, strengthen his attack, maybe a striker, as you mentioned?
Well, I think his mind's always going to be focused on the game, whoever they're playing. But obviously, a striker is a bit of an emergency situation at the Brentford Community Stadium now, because it's they've got Keane Lewis Potter. He worked hard today. He did his best. But they need somebody that's going to score them goals. They need somebody that's going to get them maybe 15 goals a season, because the race to stay in the Premier League is very, very tight, and teams are willing to spend a lot of money to maintain the position in this division.
Yes, absolutely. Then, Paul. So we'll leave the conversation there and we'll get ready to, as we now wrap up our coverage here on the commentary up this afternoon. Let me just quickly run you through the Premier League scores from this weekend. Starting off on Saturday, so yesterday, 24th of August 2024. Brighton Hove Albion 2, Manchester United 1. Crystal Palace 0, West Ham United 2. Fulham 2, Leicester City 1. Manchester City 4, Ipswich Town 1. Southampton 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Tottenham Hotspur 4, Everton 0. Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 2. Sunday the 25th of August. 2024. Bournemouth 1, Brooks United 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Chelsea 6, and Liverpool 2, Brentford 0 was your commentary game today. Speaking on the Brentford game, Keith Hackett has been involved in having his say on a controversial decision in that game. There was a late goal for Bournemouth disallowed for handball, and Keith Hackett, the former Premier League referee, has put this message out on Facebook this afternoon. He says, so we have a decision where the VAR in the Bournemouth game disallows a goal claiming handball. I remind you that the hand-stroke arm law is level with the underside of the armpit. My view is that the ball strikes the shoulder, not the arm. When you review the incident, it is subjective and not factual. Therefore, the referee should have been advised to view the monitor. It should have been the referee's call under the PGMOL recent statements. In the same game, I find it incredible that Joelinton's offence on the goalkeeper was not considered to be an act of violent conduct. Red law, red card. It says, why didn't the VAR call for review? He's aware of the laws of the game. So 2 controversial moments there. And what I can say is, the handball one, just watch that game in the build-up to this one today, it was not handball. It definitely comes off his shoulder, and that part of the arm is not handball. And I'll share some pictures on our Twitter feed, a Country Live one, to show that. And then with the second one, Joelinton definitely should have been sent off because he grabbed the Bournemouth goalkeeper, who today in there for Bournemouth against Newcastle was, I'll just give you his name, it's gone a bit off top of my head. The Bournemouth goalkeeper today was Neto, grabbed Neto round the neck as he tried to quickly release it through after claiming the ball inside the penalty area in the second half. Both decisions went against Bournemouth, so Newcastle should have finished the game with 10 men, and Bournemouth should have won the game. Instead, it was a draw in that game today between Bournemouth and Newcastle. So the VAR, more controversy in its second week into the Premier League season. We'll run off here then. JB's Johnson's return to the commentary hub's coverage of the Premier League action is back with a bang. The Liverpool win by 2-0. Not straightforward victory, but victory nevertheless for Arne Slot in his opening game as Liverpool boss at Anfield. Full time then, Liverpool 2, Brentford 0. And thank you very much to JB, John Stuttard, Paul James, PJ, for the commentary this afternoon, and for you, the listeners, for enjoying our coverage today. From all the team here and the commentary hub, remember, if you want to listen to some music, head over to twitch.tv later /DJ LAZYB and tune in to the Chill Out Zone with DJ Lazy B from 10 p.m. UK time until 1 a.m. Until then, thank you very much for listening, everybody, and we'll see you again soon here on the commentary hub with more live coverage of Premier League, Championship, the League Cup, amongst other games this season. From all the team here, goodbye.